Okay. And we're live? I
Are
think.
we live?
I think so, yeah. Should be.
Okay. So to start stream, do you want to hear about two of my adventurous things of the day? So the first one, it's not much of an adventure at all, but it was very spooky. Okay, I thought it was Halloween for a minute. So let me tell you. There was a spider on my ceiling, and I was like, oh my god, it's on the ceiling, so it's a pain in the ass to get because I don't deal with no spiders these days. Okay, I have a history with spiders, and I am not a fan. So I go downstairs. I'm like, all right, I'm pretty sure there's like three fly swatters. I might as well leave one in my room for whatever it's handy, right? I come back up with the fly swatter. The spider is nowhere to be found. And given the location on the ceiling, I was like, how? How? I was like, but what kind of Usain Bolt spider do we have here so that he could just like scurry across? I don't know where he went, but it was just like I was like, whatever he did, I don't know how he did it so quickly. So I was like, all right, maybe he just like jumped down from the ceiling, right? So I'm shaking off my blanket like crazy, can't find it. I'm looking all over the room, I just could not find the spider. This is the second time in 1 week that a spider has just miraculously poofed away out of existence. It's literally using the freaking the escape jutsu, the one that like where they turn into smoke, like um body flicker. I don't understand. The first one was in the shower curtain where like I don't know, I don't even know how it happened. I was trying to like catch it like perfectly, and then it just disappeared. Now the second thing is right now. So I looked at the weather and I was like, oh, that's right. I think it said it was supposed to rain. So hear me out. We're taking a risk here. It's currently not raining, and there's occasional rain likely to continue for the next several hours. But there's only a 31% chance at 10:15, and a 44% chance at 11, and a 24% chance at 12. So I feel like it's more probable that it won't rain on me while I'm out here. But we're taking a risk.
And welcome back to the Walky Talky podcast. I'm your host, Oodie, with your host, Kamui, and glad we could do this
And are not
intro.
host trippy, and instead we have immortal.
So,
Hold
so
on.
that was entirely unscripted. I had no idea Kamui was just bottling that story inside, let alone had a story planned at all for the beginning of podcast before the intro. So that was news to us all. We all got that live reaction here. I had no idea that happened, but okay.
I was waiting. I was debating on telling you before you started, but I was like, I'm gonna wait, make sure stream can hear about the spider. And you know what's the most suspicious thing about all of this is I just recently reread the York New City arc of Hunter x Hunter, which is basically the Phantom Troop arc. Which what are they called? The spiders. Ooh, there's a dead squirrel.
Cowboy.
Yikes. He's pretty
That drop in
obliterated.
tone. Oh, did you saw it live?
But, I mean, do you guys want to see it?
No. I feel like that's not a
Okay.
good idea to
Okay,
show.
keep walking away.
Okay.
Well,
Cowboy, Jesus
that's
Christ.
very unfortunate. No, not a snake.
Okay,
But
okay.
if I find any other animals, I'll let you know.
Hopefully live ones.
Actually, there's a chance I'll find a deer. We'll see though.
Calmly, I'm just saying. I don't know what your history with spiders is, but like spiders are like pretty good to have around and pretty cool, you
Oh, they're
know.
not good to me, bro. Let me tell you. When I was a kid, I used to. It's just wild, bro. I don't understand what I ever did to these stupid spiders, but like I would get spider bites like, all the time on my neck. These freaking giant ass, like a mosquito bite times 100 in size. They freaking hurt like hell, and I would just be chilling on my bed. All of a sudden, big spider on there, freak the shit out of me. So I was like, like I'm not as scared as I used to be. Now I just kill them. I can't deal with these spiders anymore. Um, I only kill them when they're in my room. If they're like outside, I obviously don't kill them. I don't care. I just go away from them. But yeah, I don't know why they were biting me as a kid.
Well, sheesh, in your room is like the number one place they should be. Get all the bugs out of your room, kill all the insects so they can eat them, so you don't have to
I
deal
don't
with
have any
them.
bugs in my room besides spiders.
I would rather have a spider than like a rat. I'm just gonna assume spiders would kill rats.
Spiders are not killing rats, bro. The rats are probably killing
I
the
had
spiders.
to go as extreme as possible
But
to make my point.
sometimes you get ladybugs in the room, but I am not concerned about that.
Nah, they literally just bunch up in the corner. Like you can't just they're as far away from you as possible. They stay in their web.
No, not the spiders. And when I was little, they freaking crawl on my bed.
Why is your bed in the corner of the room?
I will say that it hasn't been as nearly as much of a problem as it was when I was younger. I don't know why, but we just had like a spider problem for no reason, and then it kind of went away for no reason. But it was a problem. It was very annoying.
Our stream from last night's actually doing pretty well in the algorithm, by the way. 838 views in 17 hours.
Let's go.
It's been constantly rising, yeah.
I love it. Maybe, I'd be down for that to be our #1 stream if it can surpass Daigo one.
Yeah, that's fair. It's over 6 hours.
Because once we got to like the
so
second hour, I feel like hours 2 through 5 were just like good.
Yeah. Now that last hour wasn't as good, but it's whatever. I can't cut it down though because it's over 6 hours.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna have to stay at like 7 hours. But yeah. I also can't view the live stream on my own Walky Talky channel on my phone, but I can only do it on my other channel, which is mod, but like I can't pin the comment that I made that I wanted to pin, so it's really annoying. I'm probably doing it on the computer.
I could, in theory, just do it.
No, yeah, I'm in control here, Kamui.
Okay. Well, in that case,
I did it.
Sorry for your loss.
Okay, well, with that being said... Oh, reactions? Is that? Oh, that is that. Here, I'll turn that back on, chat, since I know you guys like that. I hate it personally, but like, there you go. Interesting. The thing in the bottom right, the heart that like gets in the way of the bottom comment, because it's like people can like press the thing to like have the things pop out of it.
We want them to spam it.
Exactly.
We're just gonna assume it does something.
Yeah. How do I pop out chat? Like that. Probably the pop out chat button would work.
How many subs are we at now?
Like 450-ish, I think, somewhere around there. I'll check in a second.
Alright. The 50 inevitable new viewers who watch this stream, subscribe, even though we haven't given you any content yet so far, besides my story about the spider.
Hello.
Oh, 475. I was wrong. 475.
Alright, 26 of you. Even better. The 24 of you don't have to do anything.
That's crazy.
Just like the stream instead, I guess.
All right. Well, yeah. With that said, yeah. All right. Immortal, thoughts on the chapter? Immortal.
Sorry, I was sorry about that.
So not your mortal thoughts, but your immortal. It's the thoughts that will never go away. They will be there forever. Those thoughts.
Yeah.
My thoughts on the chapter.
Immortal thoughts, not your mortal ones.
My immortal thoughts.
Yeah. So the thoughts that will never disappear.
The fact that Himawari has a natural affinity to Kurama. And I guess Boruto saving the day.
Well, I feel like you're a month late on the first one, but I'll accept the second answer.
No.
Well, that wasn't much of a thought.
That wasn't a thought. That was an event. What were your thoughts?
What was I thought? My thoughts of the chapter, really?
The immortal one.
The immortal.
Don't worry, immortal. I have a follow-up question after, so don't you worry. I've got it covered. It's your everlasting thoughts on the chapter, the ones that will never disappear. What are those thoughts?
The weird okay, so when I actually no. I was about to talk about the sneak peek, the initial sneak peek of Milo, come here. Stop doing that. Sorry.
Oh, it's the sleep doctor.
No,
The boss.
no, my dog Milo is just chewing on my desk for whatever reason. Dang, my immortal thoughts have just died out. That's
Okay,
weird.
well, if it helps you, we'll jump to the follow-up question and come back to the original. So,
Yeah.
separately, can you give us your phoenix thoughts? The thoughts that will fly away like a phoenix.
And come back through the ashes of the reincarnation thing, you know?
Enogen potentially coming back to life.
Okay, that's an event.
Again, yeah. Yeah, what did you think about that?
What did I think about that? I thought it was like, I don't know. I really thought that Enogen was going to stay dead. I'm not going to lie. I kind of wanted him to stay dead for some reason.
Yeah, elaborate?
Well, I agree. And we'll elaborate on why later.
Here's the thing. I think it's more so because Enogen and Himawari, they have a supposed friendship, which I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if I've seen Himawari interact with Enogen throughout the manga.
Not once, no.
I'm not saying
they had one sentence together.
if it was in the anime, I guess you could say that because
the anime filler,
yeah. But I don't know about the manga,
which is a different continuity, by the way.
Yeah, because I really felt like they should have. I don't know if they were gonna do that. I felt like they should have had some sort of flashback chapter, maybe something pertaining towards the connection between Himawari and Chocho and Shikadai, what they were doing before the Hidden Leaf got invaded by the Shinjus, and Milo, come here, Milo. Sorry. She's underneath my desk. Were you hearing rattling in my mic?
You're good.
No.
Okay. So it's just like you're only hearing my voice.
Yeah.
Okay. This microphone is actually really good. So, and like I said, I wish they would have like some pages maybe in the recent chapters where they show actually no, not here in Two Blue Vortex, but I would say before we got into the time skip, if that was the case.
I agree. The earlier, the better.
Yeah, because I don't know. It's like I don't know if I could see Himawari and Enogen and all of them getting together and becoming friends. I'm guessing that's mainly to console Himawari for the loss of her parents, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, they did train off screen.
So I
for 3
agree
years.
with everything you just said, but for just at least a little bit, I want to focus on the Enogen coming back or being saved part that you mentioned. So everything you said,
I was gonna.
We'll return to it, but let's focus on the Enogen coming back specific part.
So I'm guessing maybe it's because I wanted to, like what Hot Boy Spicy said on the last stream, I wanted to see Himawari just lose it, like go feral, like pretty much go wild against Jura to see how much, well, not really how much power she's packing, but rather like, her losing all sense of her humanity because she just saw one of her best friends die to, a Ten Tails incarnation, if you want to consider him an incarnation of the Ten Tails. But
yeah, I think this more, to be fair, that was actually me who brought that up, but I do think, in fairness, that's not the only approach in terms of the losing your humanity thing. They could have, still keeping the rage mode, she didn't have to quote unquote lose her humanity in that case. It could just be a simple thing as Jura kind of noticing, hey, the strength that comes from Himawari wanting to protect her bonds is what's giving her this power. That's what unlocked it, whatever. And so it's actually her humanity that's making her strong. In either case, though, don't have Kurama talking about let's go wild with this rage mode, just for her to be as calm as can be in the very next panel.
I'd be more okay with it if they didn't include that and just had it be calmness of Baryon mode. That is supposed to be the point, but they didn't do that at all.
No,
Yeah.
I'm guess I really I would hope I would also agree with Hot Boy Spicy in the sense where I really didn't feel anything from this chapter or the chapters prior to it when Himawari was losing her was kind of losing her shit to Jura. I guess it's mainly in the way of how Ikemoto drew her expression.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really didn't feel anything from that.
It's weird because, like even Jura points out, whatever power Himawari had, it's not just Kurama chakra. Like, it's not just that. Otherwise, he would have said, like, oh, this is the power of Kurama. No, he explicitly points out that it's something more than that, which is why I love the visuals. We say, like, okay, it doesn't have to be exactly Burial Mode, but it might be along those lines, which also helps explain the actual power increase she got. But if that's the case, it's like, well, what was Burial Mode depicted as before? The most calm transformation Naruto has probably ever had. In fact, Naruto needed to stay calm in order for the form to function properly. Something they could have done, this fits in line with the raging thing, is if this power was Baryon mode, which is minus the consequences basically, something they could have done is Himawari being enraged, unlike Naruto. She's strong, but she runs out of the form very quickly because unlike Naruto, who wasted no movement, was calm and collected, had to be very precise and all focused and all that good stuff, Himawari doesn't do that. She just is in a rage mode, and that could be partly why she loses, or Jura can still be stronger, but the point is there'd be like a downside to her losing control like that. It's not something they really did. I mean, Jura attributed it to she just wasted her chakra regenerating, basically. Not that she was being out of control or anything of the sort. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick, I'm gonna switch headphones.
Yeah.
But
in chat, we need to be reading your questions as well because I saw y'all posting questions. I wanted to get this long topic winded out of the way. Gosh. Okay. Well, there's that. So this should not be scrolling in chat.
Should be good. Why is it not
Okay.
working?
Oh, you sound good. Okay, cool.
Well, hold on, but like, why is it not? It says I'm connected, but it's not like coming out of the headphones. I hear you from the laptop. Hold on, this is weird.
Oh, I mean, you sound good to me. I guess I don't sound good to you.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, I got it to connect to the headphones properly. But anyway,
Okay.
yeah. Back inside.
Okay. Immortal, are you still here? Immortal? Maybe. Maybe not. Immortal? Yeah, I'm gonna take that as a maybe. Alright, well, I want Immortal to be here for a question that I have, but it's whatever. We can move on to chat
You
questions.
can always re-ask it, I guess.
Oh, these look cool. No, I want to ask it. Oh, these are cool, ATG. What the heck? I'll ask it when he's here. Here, I'll even text him. You here? Okay. With that said, we'll do chat questions until he gets here. So, Ariana, Queen of Pop, asked this at 10:19, over an hour ago. Question 1. After I said, chat, what questions do you have? Do you think Kawaki would be able to put Jura in the Shinju where he put Naruhina in? Or Boruto be able to put the Shinju in the same place Naruto versus Ishiki happened? It's like seal them away in Daikokuten or that waterfall place on Earth.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and just say the waterfall place, no, they'll just use the claw marks to escape. Like, you're not going to bind them there. That's just a guarantee no.
Yeah.
The gray area would be Daikokuten because it really just depends on whether they can move there or not. I want to say Jura probably can, only because of that claw mark cube he's got. It's just a reference to Kawaki or Ishiki. I don't care which. It's just a reference to that ability. Like, otherwise, narratively, plotly, all the wees, why are they showing a clear Ishiki-looking cube? Like, why are they doing that? And it's in reference to Jura. Why are they doing that?
It's a
If
little
there's
bit different.
no correlation between Jura and any of Ishiki, Kawaki, or Jigen.
I mean, we call them
Or
Ishikis.
Shibai, or anyone with the ability for that matter. I don't care if it's Shibai. If it's someone with Daikoku tech, why are they showing us the Daikoku Den cubes if there's no correlation between Jura and that ability?
We call them Ishiki's cubes. They could just be cubes from the ability itself, and like anyone with the ability.
Well, either way though. The point is, it's a reference to the ability. I don't care if it's to the character. It's to the ability. Why would they show us that if Jura has no correlation to that ability? I feel like Jura would be able to move there.
Okay. Well, it's also possible it was a place that Ishiki had made prior, for whatever reason.
It is, but my problem with that is A, it was a claw mark as he passed through it, and B, it had Jura's 10-tail symbol on the top of it, which Ishiki's cubes do not have, indicating to me that Jura created it, not Ishiki.
Well, what about this? You might like this. You might hate this. What if Ishiki created it, and then Jura enveloped it in the claw mark?
That one is possible.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't see any flaw to the idea. Like, there's nothing saying it's impossible.
I don't know if I love it or I hate it, but I feel extreme about it.
So the problem with that, though, is it's because they didn't emphasize it as Ishiki's place in ever at that point. Like, they didn't say, like, oh, this is a place that was already here, or just any indication that it was like Ishiki. Or in Jura can say, like, this cube works as a handy claw mark or something. Like, if they gave us some sort of indication of Ishiki separately, I would be totally cool with it. But because they didn't, it's too much of a hint towards just that being Jura on his own that I wouldn't like it. Because of the way it's been set up.
This next one goes to the point of absurdity to where we both know they would not do this, so it's not even worth discussing, but we're going to discuss it anyways because of course we are, because we're us. So
exactly. We are going to discuss it.
Instead of it being Ishiki's place or whatever, what if it is Ishiki's cube that Jura got from somewhere else and brought it here? And then put the claw marks on it.
I mean, strength-wise, theoretically possible. Baryon mode could pick up the cubes, and Jura's like seemingly potentially stronger than Baryon mode. So he might just be able to do that. But then why?
That's the question.
Why is he doing that?
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's so silly. It's just like, why would he ever do that?
Next question from IS. Shout out IS. I saw them in chat. Will Hima get? Let's pause right
also,
there.
real quick,
because
I'm turning on a fan down here.
Okay.
Is this like noticeable? Can you hear the fan?
No, I can't. You're good.
Okay.
So two different aspects with that. One, Ada and Damon. I don't care what you say. I'm sticking with this that they were never enemies of Konoha, traitors, anything. Nothing.
No, that's not the point. The point is, from the perspective of everyone, they were helping Code.
I disagree.
Steal Amato and take off his limiters. And
I disagree.
So, from the perspective of them, they came across as enemies and had to be converted.
I don't think anybody in Konoha thought that.
At least, I'd be great, not many of them saw them. But Shikamaru thought that. Ada literally left without accepting his offer and helped Ko to bring back Amato and get his limiters removed. And Amato is the one who convinced them to ditch Ko.
Shikamaru was considering all possibilities. he didn't think it was the most likely that Ada was an enemy.
Bro. No. The first thing he thought was that Code had an ally.
Again, that's considering all possibilities.
But he thinks that's the possibility he's choosing at first.
Okay,
that's the possibility that the thought process he presents to us. He never presents the possibility that they're just using Code or anything. He just thinks they're allies.
And you probably want to give the least likely possibility the most attention. The move behind the move.
Bro, stop. He thought that in his internal thoughts. He wasn't tricking Code with his internal thoughts.
Bro, you missed the point of what I'm saying.
Behind the move at that point.
No, it's like in Sword Art Online Season 2, Episode 1, shout out that Kirito, the main character, is like, well, yeah, there's a 99% possibility that we'll succeed. It's that 1% that I'm focused on.
Okay, does Shikamaru say that? No, so you can't apply it here.
Oh, but Kamui, analysis is part of comparison, and so I'm comparing the two.
And there's no yeah, it's a contrast in this case. Shikamaru doesn't do that.
That's what he's doing off screen.
Anyway.
Well, this gets into the second aspect of this, is the fact that this isn't Shikamaru, this is Shikadir anyways, so I don't care. So
yeah, we agree there.
Okay. Well, another aspect, seriously though, with Shikamaru is you see Shikamaru's idea of this when Naruto brings in Kawaki. At that time, Kawaki was considered an actual enemy. Not someone who they didn't know about, someone who had maybe no affiliation that they didn't know. Kawaki was considered an enemy at that time. So Shikamaru had strong dialogue about that to Naruto. And Naruto's like, no, it's fine. I'm the Hokage. I'm the strongest person in the village. That's exactly why I'm the one who has to watch him. I don't know if Shikamaru changed his mind on that or if he still agrees with that, but that was originally his idea on it. It's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so assuming he still thinks it's a bad idea, he wouldn't want enemies in Konoha. Or at least projected-wise.
Yeah, but in this case, he learned Ada's motivation and thought, instead of having an enemy in Konoha, why don't we turn the enemy into an ally?
So why didn't he think that with Kawaki?
Because he doesn't know what Kawaki wants. And he doesn't see how it's a something he can manipulate positively.
Bro, that's so
he just sees Kawaki as a member of Kara.
That's the exact opposite.
Oh, Kawaki's saying, it's not like Kawaki's over here saying, oh, I just really want a nice father. And then Shikamaru could be like, oh, well, yeah, why don't you just have Naruto be your dad? He's a nice guy. He doesn't hear these things to come up with the idea. Ada, he just so happened to learn that Ada likes Kawaki.
Literally the exact opposite, to where he thinks Kawaki is an enemy, he doesn't think Ada is.
No, he does, because what? Hold on.
He thinks it's possible.
No, hold on. Oh, whoops, what did I just do? Hopefully nothing. Okay. So, okay, hold on, let's back chapter 69. So, first thing, Amato is scared shitless, and Shikamaru is confused. Ada's just stopping everyone, and he's just like, what's going on? He asks Amato, and Amato, let's get to the part where they actually do this.
So very first thing you said is Shikamaru's scared.
Okay, he hasn't asked
he's thinking
he puts
emotionally,
her under shadow possession,
which is irrational.
And he's just like very confused, like what's going on?
Scared and confused.
The first thing he does is detain her. So why would he do that?
Because he's scared and confused, in your own words.
Exactly. Scared and confused. Why would he be scared and confused if he doesn't think Ada might bring harm to the village?
That's exactly it. He's thinking irrationally because he's scared and confused.
Yeah. So he asks Amato who she is, and Amato starts to explain things. That's how we deal with it. And then until she dies, so there is a way. Bro tries to kill Ada. You think he's an ally of his? And then Amada basically says it's impossible. And so then he switches methods. Yeah, they being greater danger. Code, blah, blah, blah. What do I do? And then, Code's clearly like working with Ada here, by the way. And then he starts to ask, like, what's your motive? Why are you helping Code? Clearly he thinks Ada is helping Code.
Why would he ask what's your motive
against...
if he thinks that she's just allied with Code?
Yeah, why are you allied with Code? What is your motive for being allies with Code?
Yeah, why would he ask that?
So he knows why they're allies?
Because he doesn't think they are allies.
Why are they helping? Okay, if she's helping Code, I feel like that means she is at least temporarily allied with him. Doesn't have to be permanent, but at least temporarily allying. They're helping each other.
Maybe in some physical way, because he's asking about motive that's beyond
but
physical.
Then she explains that she doesn't have a grudge in that Code's motive is personal. I don't care about it. And then she says, and then he says, then why? Why cooperate with him? Cooperation, allying. And then she says the answer. And then once he sees that, also, she goes on to say she's getting assistance from Code. In return, I'm helping him regain his power. So, clear ally.
Physical assistance at best. She's not an enemy of the Leaf.
But Shikamaru thinks that they are allies. And so he wants to know, well, why would Ada help Code with this? His natural assumption was, do you have a grudge against Konoha?
Plus, like, how did Ada physically assist Code? How did Ada go against the village physically? What did Ada do physically?
She released Code from Delta first.
That's defensive for Code. That's not offensive against the Leaf.
Well, it is indirectly, because Code then proceeds to go offensive against the Leaf. Okay. And Ada doesn't stop him at all.
Is there anything direct?
No, I'm not saying that Ada is an enemy of Konoha. We're talking about Shikamaru's perspective of what Ada's doing. He's misguided because he doesn't know.
Well, I'm glad you agree. He's misguided.
From his perspective, it looks like Ada is an enemy of Konoha. She barged in here, released Code so that Code can get his power.
Yeah, he's misguided because he's scared and confused because Code's around.
Yeah, because she's cooperating with Code.
No, it's just because Code's around, not because she's cooperating with Code, quote unquote.
He literally said, "Why are you cooperating with Code?" And Code literally is the one who
just said he's misguided.
Yeah, because he doesn't know that Ada actually is here just because she likes Kawaki and is totally cool with ditching Code with a better deal.
Okay, so when the misguided, scared, and confused guy says, "Why are you cooperating with Code?" that means she's not actually cooperating with Code.
Well, she was cooperating with Code, though.
Well, that's besides the point.
Well, no, it's not besides the point, because Shikamaru had every reason to think she was, and she actually was.
Well, that's a different discussion, but she wasn't really.
Yeah, she was. That's why even after being offered the better deal, she still went and helped Code get his powers off because it was like a thank you for releasing me. She still did it, even though she could have ditched him.
It was more
proposal.
It was more of Code was cooperating with Ada, but to a small degree to where he's slightly going out of his way when he's going to do what he was going to do anyways.
No, what?
It's almost like an annoying errand that he's doing on the way. Almost like a pit stop on the end journey destination.
What? Code helping Ada get Kawaki?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very Yeah, Code didn't really have to do a whole lot, not gonna lie. Code got the easy end of the bargain here. Code got way more benefit from Ada than Ada was getting from Code.
Yeah, in fact, Code never actually at any point did try to do that. Like, he just did what he was
That's not
gonna do
true.
anyways.
When Kawaki was there, he was gonna bring him back with them multiple occasions.
Yeah, you
He
say
got
that.
stopped.
You say that, but he was so busy beating him up that he lost this opportunity. He would have, but he didn't, and he could have multiple times. Because he was busy
Well-
doing he was busy prioritizing what he wants over what Ada wants. So he was not focused on the alliance
Yes,
or
yes,
cooperating.
he did try to bring Kawaki back on 2 occasions, but he got stopped both times.
Yes, he tried. Yes, he was going to do Ada's plan once he was done doing his plan.
Yeah, and he finished doing his plan
Exactly.
and then tried to bring him back.
That's
and
what
he
I'm
failed.
saying.
So you can say, yeah, Code didn't prioritize Ada first. I agree, but he did try to do Ada's thing. He tried to do his end of the bargain, but he did prioritize himself first.
Exactly. He's not going out of his way.
Yeah, and Ada, on the other hand, actually did the opposite. She prioritized helping Code first and not herself first, because she could have just ditched Code with Shikamaru's proposal, but she actually went ahead and let Code get his limiters off first.
Only kind of.
Shout out Ada for being a real good person.
I wouldn't necessarily
time.
say that's true, because I would say the entire time like she says, she's considering it. It's not like she says no and then later changes her mind to yes. She says from the get-go she'll consider it. She's considering it.
She doesn't say. Oh, I don't think she says I'm considering it.
What exactly does she say? That's like a tempting offer, blah blah blah.
Me, come over to Konoha, question mark. No, she says I have every right to consider it.
There you go. So she considers it. What do you mean? That makes it even better.
Well, no. That
She
is
has every
I'll
right
say this much.
to consider it. Every right.
Hold on. Here's what I'm gonna say. I agree. Clearly imply that she's considering it, but if we're gonna take her words literally,
I knew you were going to do
she
that.
just says she has the right to consider it. She didn't say that she was considering it.
Okay.
I have the right to bear arms, but I'm not bearing arms.
You might not have bare arms, but you sure do got hairy arms. There we go.
Anyway,
Why are we on Code again?
let's move on.
How do we get to this?
Should we just get into the chapter at this
Oh, I
point?
remember. Well, no, let's go back to what we were previously discussing. I don't remember how we got to Code, but the important point is...
It's a weird thing, though. Why did Boruto, about this chapter, why did Boruto even know to go to Sarada? I know Kashikoji told him, but it seems like they both were on the same page, and just, like, Boruto heard they were after Himawari because the Shikamaru stuff. Nobody told them about Sarada because they didn't even know that yet. Sarada wasn't a target yet from their perspective. Why does Boruto even in Kashikoji just know to go to Sarada? Was that pure luck that Koji just saw the situation and was like, because he didn't say like, okay, location, he says location secured, Sarada Uchiha, head there now. It's like Koji already knew. Instead of it being like, hey, Boruto, they're after Sarada too. Come to the square. Like that. That gives you a different insight. So like, why did Boruto know?
Yeah, I think
The target
I
thing.
think it is quote unquote luck, but I don't think it's luck because I think he just has multiple frogs spread across the village. So he can see like basically surveillance across the entire village right now. So they can't really hide from him in that way.
No, but it's just the way it was worded by Koji. It's like Koji and Boruto had already discussed it. Instead of being like, hey, Sarada is a target too, hurry. It's more like, all right, I found Sarada as planned. Here she is. You get what I'm saying?
I don't know, because when he said that, Hidari was already wrapping up Sarada. Like, hypothetically, if Hidari, just like Jura, changed his target to Konohamaru mid-fight and then started wrapping up Konohamaru, I feel like the frog would have said the exact same thing about Konohamaru.
But that's just weird.
It's about
that sounds
it's
weird.
about who's in danger at that moment.
Yeah, but the way they said it made it seem like they were expecting Sarada to be in danger.
Well, what exactly did they say? Let's pull it up. It's gonna take me a minute because I don't know where the chapter is anymore.
I'll get it real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the spoilers.
He says, in position, Sarada Uchiha's location is confirmed. This symbol is square, and Boruto expressionlessly flying Raijin Jutsu. He just like knew.
Yeah, again, I'm pulling up spoilers. So.
In position, like, you know, like, that just sounds like they knew from the get-go. Like,
shout out y'all in chat. We're gonna check chat in a minute. Okay. He gets Sarada, or sorry, he gets Himawari. It arrived,
like, Himawari,
confirming Uchiha Sarada,
he
the
heard
symbol of a triangle.
that Himawari was in danger. Boruto didn't hear Sumire say his target is Sarada. I just know it. Boruto wasn't there. The Toad didn't relay the information on screen either. So it's just kind of like, why does he know?
Okay. Maybe. I guess, yeah.
Now, in theory, the Toad could have been there the whole time, and he could have heard Sumire say that. But if that's the case, I would have shown a panel of the Toad listening, and just to indicate that the Toad was there in the first place. Because he also says in position, like he's just got there now, too. So, like he doesn't say, I've been here, so come to Sarada now. It's like, I just got here.
It could be... Again, this is speculation for things that happened off screen. I don't know if we're going to get it or not. It could be Boruto specifically looking out for Sarada, because not only is that like one of his closest friends, and like I think he knows Omnipotence, she's immune or whatever, seemingly. Those are two aspects. The third aspect is the fact that Sasuke asked him to look over specifically Sarada. He has 3 different reasons to look over specifically Sarada right now. So he could just be selfishly caring for her in particular.
It's just
that's just coincidence.
It's just the way Kashi Koji says it. I don't know. It just feels slightly annoying. Yeah. I feel like they could have just phrased it a little bit differently.
Well, because it's like it's almost like the same thing with Code. Code knew going after specifically Sarada would get Boruto to come out. How Code knew that, I don't know. But the point is, that's how Boruto felt.
You know, actually, I kind of want to get into a Code rant. Code expressed in chapter 71, his goal was to take everything Kawaki cared about to basically get back at him, revenge, because Kawaki took everything he cared about in his mind. Now, what does Code do? Never mind Omnipotence, it just switches to Boruto. Code aimlessly chases after Boruto, ignoring the Leaf Village, and only used the Leaf Village just to make Boruto show up. Bro wasn't trying to take anything Boruto cared about. He didn't try to kill Sarada. He didn't just ignore Boruto and say, you know, if Code should have immediately just gone to the village anyway to take what Boruto cares about. What happened to that?
Well, I don't care what you say. I still...
Oh, looks like the Shinju will just devour you on your own. Whip-de-doo. I don't need to defeat Boruto, but let's go back to the village and take away everything you care about.
Regardless of Code's actions, Code's dialogue makes no sense in 2 Blue Vortex for him to not be immune to Omnipotence.
Why? What dialogue in particular?
The Rasengan is Boruto's trick.
Well, again, I get what you're saying there, but because they fought over the time skip, Boruto could have just used only Rasengans in that fight. And again,
that's ridiculous.
This is a hypothetical. Code could have been confused in the first fight and just accepted it and moved on.
And yeah, it's possible. Is that what's most likely? I don't think so. It's ridiculous.
I mean, in my opinion, I agree that they should have changed the dialogue and he should have been like, Rasengan, that what did he learn Kawaki's jutsu? Like, when did he learn that or something? Like, he should have been. They should have had him questioning it, or like, or maybe not that, but like, Rasengan. Since when did he start using so many Rasengan jutsu? So they imply that like he's done it before, but he's still confused on it, or they should have done something different.
Yeah. I'll give you this. I don't think Code should be immune. If he is immune, that's not going to be the biggest surprise in the world to me. It's almost expected to some degree. It's like half and half. Either way, I don't really care if he's immune or not. I'll say I don't think he should be for now. So I'll give you this. I think it just was a mistake. I'm not going to say they forgot or that it's bad writing in this case. I think they just made a mistake and just didn't even think about it. They just didn't consider that.
Yeah, so I don't think they thought about it.
Yeah.
I think they just like were thinking about Boruto versus Code. What did he do before? A bunch of Rasengans, and they just didn't even think about the fact that it should be role reverse and Code shouldn't think that.
Exactly. I think they're just forgetting the details. Like if it's hypothetically,
but I'm gonna call that bad writing.
Exactly. For some reason, if we just replace Code with Shikamaru, I could imagine them having the same exact dialogue, even though obviously Shikamaru wouldn't have fought Boruto over the time skip or anything like that.
Exactly.
Just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, so like it is bad writing. Is it majorly bad writing? No, it's not like some of the other things, but it's just like a minor, like, yeah, that's dumb.
It's just a mistake, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's everything.
But anyway, yeah, the moral of the story is, and also at that point, I would have had dialogue. If you want to go that route, I would have had dialogue of Boruto asking Koji to find Sarada. Like if it starts off like he's like flying, like even like for example, this is a really quick and simple way of doing it. So you have the first time you see Boruto, he I guess it is pretty quick here, but they could have had like just a panel of Boruto being like, found Hima, find Sarada quickly or something. Like just have Boruto in one of these panels, or add an extra panel of Boruto asking Koji to find Sarada, and then Koji's like, okay, in position, like that. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, to be fair, we still don't know what knowledge Boruto has. He seemingly had knowledge about the Shinju beforehand. He knew there was going to be a darkest future and everything. He knew what to do to stop them.
He seemed confused when he first heard that the Shinju were after Himawari. He's like, Hima? ? And then Shikamaru asks him, like, do you know anything about the Nine Tails? Boruto just doesn't say anything, so we don't know.
Well, but again, because he has information about the Shinju's existence, he might know things about the Shinju into it.
Boruto says Nine Tails ? And then Koji is just watching and doesn't say anything.
And again, that's weird to Boruto, not because of the Shinju, but because of the existence of the Nine Tails.
Yeah.
Which naturally reincarnates. Of course Boruto should know about it. Why is he confused? Yeah, take that, people. Stupid.
Yeah, no, yeah. Boruto is surprised about Himawari and the Nine Tails. Both things have question marks, and like, you know, so that just indicates to me he doesn't know about the targets. Unless Boruto thought the target was Naruto, and he's just surprised about the Himawari part.
But anyways, so I don't know how. I don't know what information Boruto has, or how he even has it in the first place. But hypothetically, he knows not only about the possible existence of the Shinju, but if he knows things about the Shinju, well, if finding a target is a natural thing Shinju come to, and Jura or the others aren't unique for doing this, Boruto could have the information that the Shinju will in time develop a target. He might not know who they are, but if he knows how they come about choosing a target, then he could have an idea of who they would target. Hidari would obviously choose Sarada.
He would know why Sasuke's would target.
This is why he would be confused about Himawari, because none of the Shinju, from his perspective, would choose Himawari as a target, so it's weird that they would.
Yeah.
It's unexpected.
That's to say, he may have guessed Naruto and not been surprised about that. What
Exactly,
makes me
yeah.
interested, though, is do you think Boruto, I'm getting the feeling yes, but do you think Boruto knows Jura's identity? Like, where he came from?
The problem with that is it depends where he came from. Like, we don't know. I feel like we need to know in order to speculate on if Boruto knows in the first place. Like, we're missing too many required variables here. The control variables to answer this experiment.
Well, he doesn't have to personally know them, but I mean, this really just boils down to where the heck Boruto's gotten his knowledge from. Because, like, they're like, let's just say Kashi Goji just knew all this shit. He could have just known, like, who Jura is. Told him.
I mean, like you said, he knew who Hidari was. He was seemingly trying to stop Hidari from existing. So did he know about Jura? I don't know. It depends who or what Jura even is.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay. Was there any other aspects on that? I think it's good on that. Okay. Back to chat questions.
Yeah, I guess.
Because we've got very far behind at this point, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, how long have you been going for?
Frickin'. How do I check? An hour and 26 minutes. 2 hours and 6 minutes. Wait, I can check here. 2 hours and 6 minutes, yes.
And we haven't even started the chapter.
And they're still spamming the reactions. I love it. Okay. Bro, all of that was from one question.
I know. I still haven't figured out how I want to review this chapter.
Do you think Kawaki will help Boruto as he fights both Hidari and Jura? At this point, yes. So we'll get into that later on whether or not that can even be possible. But I think Himawari changed everything. First of all, I think Boruto obviously, without anything changing, he would just want to team up with Kawaki in the first place. He already did. But I think Kawaki now would not only be willing, but want to team up with Boruto because he probably thinks that he can't defeat the Shinju on its own. If he did think that, that's what he would just tell Delta. The fact that he said something, ironically, he said something similar to what Naruto would say, which is the ideological battle that he's fighting against. The fact that he's saying this right now is very interesting. The fact that he's saying that he'll just do what he can implies that he thinks that he can't beat them.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, well, whatever I can do.
Yeah, so I think both logically and emotionally now he's on the same page to where he will team up with Boruto. I think it won't even be a question.
Also, this is really funny, real quick. Ariana Queen of Pop says, need the donation option on here real bad. I'll give it another hour or two. They will look back eventually 100%.
Hey, you know us.
Hey, we really spend a lot of time on your chat messages and looking at it that way.
I've really given you bang for your buck, and you haven't even given us any buck in the first place. That's like infinite return.
Yeah, like we give you an hour response per message.
Per free message at that. Do you think Hidari can use the Mangekyo Sharingan abilities? No. That Sasuke had, like Amaterasu? No. And Susanoo? No. Or even if he could use Amano Tejikara? No. Since he has Rinnegan. Actually, that one maybe, but no. I think that's a specific Rinnegan ability. I think Hidari does not have
problem, though?
Sasuke's Rinnegan.
The problem is, he can use Sasuke's jutsu without knowing what it is, just because he has Sasuke's chakra. By that logic, he should just be able to use Sasuke's
I don't think
jutsu.
Sasuke's Rinnegan is Sasuke's chakra to an extent.
That's fine with that one, but that would mean he should be able to use, like, Amaterasu and stuff.
If Sasuke...
Sasuke's chakra.
Okay, well, do you think if Sasuke was blind, can he use Amaterasu?
No.
Okay. Hidari doesn't have Sasuke's eyes. Doesn't matter if he has his chakra.
Alright, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Well,
Okay. Then I agree.
Alright.
He shouldn't be able to do it. especially after this chapter, mind you, because it's like, yeah, I don't have the Sharingan. That's just kind of like what they did there. So he shouldn't be able to use Sharingan abilities.
Susanoo's the interesting one, to where it actually is somewhat muddy water. I think no, still, considering he can't even do basic Sharingan abilities. I think
no,
he lost
he
everything from the Sharingan.
He never got the requirements of unlocking the ability in both Mangekyo's to awaken the Susanoo, so I feel like it's kind of cheap if he can use it.
Yeah, so that was another aspect I was going to get with about the Rinnegan earlier. There's a difference between Rinnegan that are artificially manufactured from nothing and Rinnegan that specifically upgrade from the Sharingan.
Yeah.
And so because Hidari didn't do that, I feel like he doesn't have anything like that. It's not just the Tomoe.
Where it gets weird though is like the Ten Tails, Kaika's Rene Sharingan and stuff. It's just the Sharingan is just the devolved form of these things, which would make you it's kind of goofy because on one hand, Indira's Sharingan is like the devolved Hagurama Rinnegan. So it's possible, yeah, he just got different abilities with the devolved thing. Then Madara re-evolved it back to the Rinnegan, so it's like, okay, well, would he lose the Sharingan abilities like Hagurama, or would he keep them?
Well, ironically, I think both the Rinnegan and the Sharingan, going all the way back to Patient Zero Otsutsuki, I think they are just mutations. I think either the Jogan or the Byakugan is the quote-unquote original eye, as in, like, the first eye ever in existence. And any eye that comes after that spawns from a mutation of the Byakugan, rather than its own creation from something
or the
else.
Jogan, probably one or the other.
Yeah. I don't know which, but yeah. Be crazy if
we can't really
the
say.
Kokugan was a thing.
Yeah, the Kokugan.
Yin and Yang.
The Kudogan.
Yeah, the two things that started all of creation. The Jogan and Kokugan.
Yeah. That sounds like your series right there, False Perfection. Yin and Yang.
Bro, Mello unironically made a short about the Kokugan. It's crazy to me.
What did you say? Did he parallel it to the pain arc?
Yeah, because the Akatsuki uniforms are black.
They just say Mello made it because he's black. That's why he made the video on the black guy.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I had this on top chat instead of live chat. So I switched it to live chat, and that refreshed
when
the
I
chat.
change it to live chat, it changes nothing for me, so I don't know.
Top chat just filters out a couple of comments that should not be. So I just changed it to live chat. But because I did that, it refreshed chat, and now I can only scroll up to 11:17 p.m. so I can't see messages from
No, literally,
that.
I know. I was like, I can't scroll up further.
What I can do, because it was just on stream 20 seconds ago, I just go back a minute, and I can see comments up to 11:11. Yeah, but that means we're missing 6 minutes worth of hypothetical comments. They're Schrodinger's comments. So anyone that commented between 11:12 and 11:16, feel free to repost your comment. Okay. Rinnegan gets tossed around like candy. Quite literally in Urushiki's case.
Yeah, ate it like candy too.
Look up principle of doppelgangers. Alright. If this is a Rule 34 thing, you're banned. It's not, but... Doppelganger. Okay. I don't know if principle of changes these results, but one theory proposes that seeing our own likeness disrupts our sense of this is interesting, of being unique and individual.
Do you want to share your screen on Discord so I can see it in real time?
Yes. Here you go. I'll say it again. So yeah. That's interesting, actually. I definitely think it is because of the Ten Tails. Obviously, they are the Ten Tails, literally. But it's weird because they need to devour the Otsutsuki to evolve. But is it because of the Otsutsuki's body or because of the Otsutsuki's chakra? It should be because of the body, but I feel like if you just fed a chakra-less Otsutsuki body to the Ten-Tails, it wouldn't do anything. I feel like it has to be because of the chakra. But if
That's where it's weird, because Boruto says they eat chakra, and it kind of makes it seem like it's all about the chakra. But for what I have witnessed, it feels like eating the body has a little bit of a different effect than absorbing the chakra. Because this is part of my theory as far as the Ten-Tail shit, but like what we see with Kaguya's resurrection is by absorbing chakra into Madara, who had the Ten-Tails, Kaguya came out. It's almost like it restored.
Kamui? It is almost like it restored, isn't it? Oh.
It was kind of like that Rinnegan Clockgrind that fought Kawaki,
Can
where it's like
you say all
saying
that again?
words.
I think my Wi-Fi went out for a second.
Obito. It's like
Hey,
not
Kamui?
quite all the way
Hey, Kamui?
manifested.
I think my Wi-Fi went out for a second. Can you say that again? Also, before saying that again, let's just make sure the stream didn't go down. I think
I'll
it's still up,
double-check.
but I just want to double check.
It looks like it's still live.
Okay, good. Okay. Feel free to say all that again.
Okay. I don't know what you left off with.
Sorry.
What did you leave off with? Like any character at least?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like just 30 seconds ago.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't
All
very
right,
long.
so how did I transition into it? Okay, yeah, so it does seem like there is a difference between eating the chakra and absorbing it, because if you look at, like, this is kind of where I get my theory on like the whole why that Shinju awakened the way they did things. So in the work, Madara has the Ten-Tails / Divine Tree inside himself. What does Zetsu do? He absorbs the, because according to Zetsu, this was the necessary. The purpose of the Infinite Tsukuyomi, at least for this plan, is to amass chakra. And he absorbs it into Madara. And Kaguya just comes out. I mean, no, Kaguya turned into the Ten-Tails. What happens here? Code essentially gave his chakra via the claw marks to the Ten-Tails. What happens? They kind of became these, like, not quite Atsuki, but like humanoid-like things. When Obito is taken over by the Ten-Tails, it was kind of like that Rinnegan Clawgrime, where it was not quite fully like an aware human, but like it's like Obito versus Otsutsuki. It's like it's not fully aware, but it's on the path there. So it almost feels like absorbing chakra, at least with Kaguya, turned the Ten-Tails back into Kaguya. But if the Ten-Tails eats chakra, or at least eats a body, it turns into a tree, a very different effect. So
Yeah.
it feels like it's doing something different.
'Cause-
So, okay, I like a lot of what we've discussed. This is why I said I wanted to keep talking about this shit, because this makes me like this arc better, like a lot. The past two streams have made me forgive this arc a lot more, provided they just keep going down all this routes. But again, like, I mean, they did kind of disappoint me with the Boruto thing, which you haven't gotten to yet. But I don't know. Makes me feel more hopeful.
The problem is that it doesn't stand on its own, which is the biggest problem for me. Because again, we can make anything sound good. Again, this is why I was saying to Hot Boy, I really loved when he said, you don't need a video essay to explain to you why Sasuke unlocking his 3 Tomoe Sharingan is so impactful. Because the series itself already does the work for you.
Yeah. Whereas for his Rasengan Uzuhiko thing, he's like, I had to dig deep for that. But like, he didn't need to do that for Sasuke's Rito.
So like, everything we're saying isn't in the series. This principle of doppelganger idea, there's nowhere it's even close to being mentioned at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just bring it up, and then we expand on it through analysis to say it could be the case. But as of now, it isn't the case, and it might not ever be the case. We could be wrong on this entire idea. It just might not be the direction they're going in the first place, like at all.
That's the problem, yeah,
Exactly,
because that's literally what I said with the Boruto thing, is that it felt like Boruto at least should spend some time on his conflict, wondering what should I do, because like do I go and risk Momoshiki, or do I wait and risk the Shinju? But they just didn't do that. He literally took a short break to the T.
Yeah.
Like he told you tomorrow.
That all was one chat again, by the way. There's been 2 chats back to back that we spent like an hour on each.
I know, bro.
Where nothing
That's
is not
why-
consistent.
Yeah, she that girl wasn't wrong. Ariana, pop girl, whatever it was called. Sorry, I'm not looking at it. I apologize. She's not wrong, because if it's the super chats, I mean, we literally could do a whole stream on like 3 super chats, and that's a stream. but it's great. Like, you're freaking all the other podcasts in the world. See, no podcast will give your chat message as much time as we will.
At this point, it's not even the chat message. It's 5 minutes of the chat message, and then derailment tangent to the chat message.
Hey, I count it.
Okay. It's good enough.
So what's with y'all hating? These titles are crazy on the streams.
You don't like the titles?
No, I don't like the titles. I don't like the titles, man.
Which ones?
Tribu Vortex will make no sense. We're dropping Boruto. Like, what is this? Like, I mean, I dropped Boruto, but like, y'all ain't dropping Boruto.
Well, that was in reference to Hot Boy, who was dropping Boruto, and since he was on the stream, he counts as I.
Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. I did something really weird. Is that so after reading Boruto chapter 7 like 4 weeks ago, I was like, chapter 8 came out, and then chapter 9 came out. I was like, huh. Chapter 10 came out, and I was like, oh, whatever. And then chapter 11 came out, and I found out that Konohamaru has like a wind style Rasengan. And I was like, oh, let's just skip those 3 chapters and we'll just jump right in.
It wasn't a wind style Rasengan per se.
It's a wind style Rasen barricade.
Yeah, it's basically like Shojoji's Zephyr Shield,
but
from the Mugen
Rasengan.
Yeah, but it's like it does the same thing, looks the same way, it's the same nature transfer, it's the same jutsu. Like,
it's the same jutsu, but maybe it actually has a punch, and it isn't just a shield.
Yeah,
like
Zephyr
I'm assuming
Shield
what
is
like
weird, but
like I'm assuming like what the jutsu would do if he went up against somebody who wasn't like way stronger than him, is that like it would kind of like create like a vortex and like push the jutsu back in that guy's face. I'm assuming that's what it would do, but maybe not. Because like,
well, the problem with that is 2 things. One, it means a barricade. I don't know if that works, but second, that's what the Zephyr Shield does.
it is what it does. I forgot that. I thought it was just a shield.
Like,
okay.
No, the Zephyr Shield like has a little bit of a reflection aspect to it.
So it's simply, it literally just is. It
Literally
literally just
the
is the same
it's
jutsu, but it has a
like,
larger, a higher punch.
It's like the exact same thing. The
Is
only
it the
difference
same
is how they
size?
created it. It's like this. The only difference is that Shojoji isn't, as far as we're aware, unless he actually was, he's not using any sort of Rasengan spiraling aspect to create it. He's just like doing it. It's like I feel like Konohamaru and Shojoji took 2 different paths to end up at the exact same jutsu, basically.
Sauron, the thing about your idea of the Rasen barricade that Konohamaru has now, that new jutsu, not only does it work, but you literally already are right via the laws of Newton. The fact that Hidari pushed his jutsu into Konohamaru, who wasn't moving forward, and Konohamaru got launched backwards, If Konohamaru launched this jutsu forward into a different jutsu, that other person, via the laws of Newton's, held consistently, they would be the ones launched backwards.
So I completely cut out. So what were you talking about?
You're right.
My internet went bad
Congratulations.
for a moment.
You're correct.
I'm right
Yeah, on everything. Everything you
about
said.
how the jutsu would work.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so it seems like Shojoji, when he does his one-style Zephyr shields, they are shields. Like he has one in one palm, one in another palm. Konohamaru has more like yeah, they look slightly different. They're a little different, but they pretty much do the same thing.
Yeah. Like there is a difference, but like not a practical difference.
Like you do see.
Yeah.
How does Ikimoto draw? Because I'm looking at the anime. That should be chapter.
Let me
14?
go look real quick.
Chapter 14.
I mean, to be fair, Ikimoto has changed some of his drawing stuff.
Exactly.
You know, look at Sasuke. So something's changed.
Ariana.
I thought some of the panel. I'm not gonna lie, I liked.
I just looking at Orochimaru, bro.
Chapter.
The manga's interesting too.
Oh god, any questions?
Okay, so the anime and how Ikimoto draws it, the depictions are definitely different. With how
The way it looks, yeah, looks different.
because
But at the same time, though, it's got a vortex around it on one of
this is
these.
definitely distinctly different from how Ikimoto draws Konohamaru's. I put it in general.
I don't know if you took the same screenshot, but I'm gonna take it this one where he is actually making like a smiling vortex, which is
Let
funny.
me see.
I know it doesn't look identical, but it is doing similar things.
No matter what, the applications are very similar, even if they are a little different in terms of presentation.
Look at his Rasen Barricade. Okay. I don't know what screenshot you sent, but I'm gonna send mine in a second.
He sent
you sent the
Shojoji.
same one, yeah. Yeah, he sent the same one though that I took.
Okay.
Yeah, like with the vortex thing. It's like Konohamaru's almost just looks a little bit more spirally and a little bit bigger. It could just be like an upgraded version of the Zephyr Shield.
I'd say it is, because let me see.
This is the same thing, just like better.
Yeah,
better.
basically.
Well, you've heard
I think
this.
the concept of
You've heard this before in the series if you've listened to the Japanese. The jutsu's name in Japanese is Futon. What's this? Rasen Shoheki.
Futon Rasen Shoheki?
Yep. So you've heard Futon
Rasen
Rasen
Shoheki.
from obviously Wind Style
Yeah.
Rasen Shuriken. But Shoheki, you've heard that before.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't remember who from though.
What does Shoheki mean again? I heard it in anime, but like, what does it mean again?
Well, you've heard it specifically in Naruto because it's what they say with abilities.
What does Shoheki mean?
Enclosing wall, boundary fence.
That's a
Who says-
barricade. It's the same jutsu, bro. Konohamaru
Yeah,
uses
it's a
the
barrier.
Zephyr Shield.
It's a barrier.
Well, of course, the names would be similar, because they are saying similar things.
So no, but it's literally the same jutsu.
Like, what is the difference between like a barricade and a shield?
It's a barrier. A barrication is a barrier.
Specifically
So
an
it's the
enclosing
same
wall.
thing. Like he literally is using the same jutsu. They just
They're both
translated
yeah,
it
they definitely
different.
they definitely do look quite different. Like Konohamaru's is more of a larger vortex, and
It
there's
just looks like it's more advanced. But I'm starting to think, actually, it'd be interesting. Let's get the Raws.
It would be cool if Konohamaru got this
Kamui.
jutsu.
I just
He's never
read you
seen
the
Shojoji
Raws.
fight though.
What do you mean?
Huh?
I just read you the
Just
Raws.
said the Raws.
This
Yeah,
page
he just
is
said
the
the
Raws.
I'm not looking at your screen because it's just doing like a black, the
I
spinning
see nothing
squares.
on your screen.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Well, Kamui, he doesn't say Rasen Shoheki in the English. Like, what do you mean?
No. Let's pull up chapter 15's Raws.
Of Boruto?
Yeah,
Okay,
if
go
you
ahead.
can.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't know how to.
Actually, I do have the site. Perfect. I have a site, so I can find it. Okay.
Regardless of anything, I do think it is cool, and I like the concept of it.
This is
Yeah,
clearly a Rasengan.
I think it's cool.
And narratively, it should be Rasengan. Look at the second arc, where you just learned Rasengan in the first arc. Needs to be Rasengan. So, is that what's in contention here? Is someone thinks this Rasengan is the same jutsu Konohamaru used?
Huh?
What? Why are we pulling up the raws? Because this is just a Rasengan. It's just gonna say Rasengan, right? Against Shoujoji?
No.
No.
Hold on. No. I'll send you when Shojoji says 2 panels of Shojoji saying Zephyr Shield, just to see if it says Rasen Shoheki or Futon Rasen Shoheki.
I guarantee
there
it's
is
not
no
gonna
like
say that.
contention here. There is no
Well,
like
probably not, but just for the fun of it.
Sure.
there's no like real contention. We're just kind of saying like whether or not these jutsus are the exact same.
Okay, fair enough.
That's really all it was.
Let me just do it this way.
Hi, Ishida.
So sorry.
I sent you the raws, 2 different ones of him
Oh.
saying Zephyr Shield. In the second panel, it's the top right. This one, it would just
I actually
be.
do like Shoujoji's jutsu though.
Oh, it's
I think it
futon.
looks visually cool.
Let's see, futon what? It's not Shokeki. Definitely not. Fuhaku Jun. There you
Ruton.
go.
Rasen Shuriken.
Futon. Fuhaku Jun. Let's see if Fuhaku Jun is a thing. Fuhaku Jun. Nope. We can find the individual things. How does this?
I mean, to be fair, I've never heard of it. I didn't know what
Fu.
Zephyr.
So if you
Fu
use
is
the
wind.
anime,
What
this
is
is Kono-
Haku?
This is
Hopefully we can pick the
Konohamaru's
right
second
one.
with
Right
Rasengan if you
one.
use the anime.
Right one. Is this it? No. Okay, it's this one. Haku. Count. Wind count. Is this right? Hang on, just confirm. That looks right.
Let me look at what Zephyr even means in English.
Yeah, no, that's right. Okay. So, wind style.
Zephyr means
wind
a
count.
soft, gentle breeze or a
Yeah.
fine content gingham. Probably not that. A soft, gentle breeze is a Zephyr.
Or Brazil. Wind Brazil.
I wonder how the anime is going to depict this. Will this be blue or white, as in like wind?
That's interesting, yeah.
It
I
might
mean,
be
his wind style Rasengan wasn't that blue in the anime.
No, but it was surrounded by a wind vortex, like a white wind vortex. But here, there's no like center to this. There's just
Why? I'm doing this
okay.
so bad.
No, there
There we
is a center. That little middle thing in the middle of his hand. They can make that blue, and then everything else like.
Where can I see the
wind.
manga? On Viz. Look up Viz Boruto chapter 11. That's the link I'm gonna give you, not the
Like
other one.
there's a middle wind vortex. I wonder how they're gonna do that. What?
It must be an own reading. That's why this isn't popping up. I don't think there's any way to.
Hidari's supposed to be stronger than Jigen, and yet he got back up. Konohamaru got back up. Crazy, bro.
I'm trying to draw on it, but I don't think it's gonna work. It's...
Ada capping. She capping, bro. Anyways, Ood, what's been with these titles?
which
And
ones?
Kamui explained it, but what's your explanation?
Which ones?
The English isn't coming to me apparently. This chapter stream. What's with the title?
This stream, you mean?
Is that what I not said?
No, you said this chapter's stream. Which,
Yeah.
which
You're
well,
talking
no,
about the chapter, right?
Boruto chapter 11 hasn't streamed.
Oh.
So-
Oh, you're correct.
Okay, so yeah.
You're correct. Never mind. That's a me whoopsie. But you understand what I mean. So you being real scummy right now.
Well, that's one way of putting
Wow,
it.
that
I'm
would
like
be in
largely
character.
largely
Wow.
offended right now.
So Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 11 makes no sense. So you have contention with
Yeah.
this title?
Is that where y'all are discussing in this stream
We're getting to it.
before
Yeah,
I got
slowly-
here? Like, is
slowly
that
but
definitely
surely.
what y'all were discussing that, right?
So far, we
Y'all were
only discussed
discussing
good
that.
things.
Y'all were discussing that, right?
We will be.
Yeah.
We've already kind of have, but
You
we were
will
only
be.
discussing the good stuff so far.
Y'all know how many hours you're into this,
Well,
right?
you gotta save best for last. You know, like the point of Naruto is like Naruto versus Sasuke, you know, like 700 chapters in.
Disappointment.
Yeah, like you want Naruto to be Hokage, you're not gonna do it until the 700th
Well, it's funny that
chapter.
Naruto actually saved the worst for last. So
You know, it's like a slow
Crazy,
burn.
bro.
You gotta build up to it to really, really have those stakes in place. You know, we're just
Exactly. There's no payoff if there's no build-up.
yeah, we're just making our
Because there'd be
streams
nothing to pay off.
narratively brilliant.
I will just say, y'all will never get to it.
You know, from what I understand, I think Sarada is the antagonist right now.
I am the
No, he's
antagonist.
not
I
the
am
antagonist. He's the villain.
I am being antagonist.
Clear cut.
He's the villain.
Antagonist.
There's no subtlety on this one. Saren's being very on the nose right now.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Saren doesn't even feel realistic. This is like no breath of life in the characters. This is just because the plot demands it.
Yes, Sauron's a plot device.
So you heard what I said, dude, how I skipped 3 chapters, right?
Yeah.
Should I go back and read those chapters? I read the
Which
spoilers.
ones did you skip? 8, 9, and 10?
Yeah.
Feel free to read 8 and 9. Don't bother with 10.
Really? Is it because of the Kurama stuff?
I just don't see anything worthwhile in chapter 10.
So Inojin rushing.
Oh, you can look at 2 cool panels of Sarada versus Hidari that are narratively bad.
narratively bad.
Yeah.
Is there a stream where y'all discussed that?
Yeah. There's a video we clipped out.
Multiple
Okay,
videos.
I'd like to
be in
watch
fact.
that. I want to know why it's narratively bad.
Okay, let's see. How many days ago were these videos coming out? Did I already skip over them? Have Inojin in the thumbnail.
What did we title it? I think it was just titled like Sarada versus Hidari is narratively bad or something. Like, should have an actual title.
Oh, you meant Sarada versus Hidari. I was looking for Inojin.
Oh well, Inojin is I'm glad Inojin died. That's the one.
Well, luckily
Well, actually,
he
Yeah,
there's more
3
than
weeks
one.
ago.
Oh
So,
yeah,
like-
by the way,
and
Inojin
Inojin's
was
death was
saved in the
bad.
very next chapter.
exactly what happened is what I thought was gonna happen, and everyone on Twitter was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe Inojin got saved." It's like, guys, it'd be stupid if he didn't. If she has the power to heal him,
Sauron,
Well,
I went.
no, it wouldn't be stupid narratively.
it wouldn't be stupid narratively, but she has the power to heal him. She should be able
But
to.
she
pour
doesn't
his...
know that is one of the
Yes,
problems.
but
Sarah-
Kurama does. So she
But
should just be-
Kurama didn't tell her that. She just walked up and did it. And then proceeded to say she doesn't know what this power is. So before
Okay,
then,
well-
she barely knows who Kurama is, doesn't know anything about Kurama really, other than he was inside Dad, and then she walks up to Inojin, heals him, says, I don't know if I did that properly, so bring him to the hospital after the wound's already been healed, and says, I don't know what this power is, but it's probably what Jura's interested in.
So did Kurama
It's like-
say last chapter? Because I heard someone say this. Did he honestly say that I can't help you with your abilities? Did he
Yeah,
say
he
something?
said, there's nothing I can do about it. The only one who can do this is you. And then when she does it, he's like, Oh yeah, can't wait to rage with you, Himawari. Next chapter, Himawari's not enraged whatsoever.
Calmly walks up to Inojin, no urgency in her
Okay.
step.
You can well she is okay. Well, she
was not enraged
she
until it's like 10 pages into the chapter when Jura kept rambling on,
Yeah,
and then she got annoyed
punched
again.
She's
him, and then she got
casually
angry.
casually talking to Shikamaru and Chocho as if she was in
Go
base.
away.
It's like
she's got
nothing's
she's
changed.
got the sweat bead of like, oh no, I
Yeah!
don't know if I did that right.
Yeah, I
in
was
the
gonna
sense,
mention that.
Like, oh, I'm not sure if I healed him right. I probably get him to the hospital.
It most
Like,
certainly
acting.
it definitely
like,
is
in
weird
base.
that like Kurama said, I can't do anything to help you. She knows nothing about the Nine Tails, but can heal Inojin, and then at the same time doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah. The thing that Naruto needed to, after 16 years of experience with Kurama and mastering KCM1, needed to switch with Kurama in the war arc so Kurama could do that for him.
You see, the way how you get around a plot like that is just by having, Kurama being able to like help her. That would make sense. But like they said no go. So they wrote themselves into a corner, and now it just doesn't make sense.
Well, thankfully...
Because that is very silly.
Thankfully, Sauron, Himawari and Kurama,
Maybe
it's not a Jinchuriki situation. They're actually one body and one soul.
Yeah, they're one body. She is a Shinju, but like Nine Tails. How?
Well,
I don't
they're
know.
also one soul. Even though they have two different souls talking to each other, they are one soul.
Despite Kurama having his own soul, that makes zero sense. Wait, is that something that happened? That's what's said in chapter 10?
Yeah. He said we are a single body and
so
soul.
I definitely have to read that chapter.
In the previous panel, he explains that they are talking to each other, mind to mind, and said, of course, because we are a single body and soul.
What?
Where's the second mind coming from if you're one mind?
Hold on. The Nine Tails has a soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
So does Himawari.
Anyway, so you said there's nothing worthwhile in that other chapter.
It is
that
Himawari.
All sounds like worthwhile content. That all sounds like worthwhile content.
Okay,
yeah, I say there's something worthwhile. You should read it for context, but I just think chapter 10's bad.
That is some bad stuff.
Yeah.
So
I think this chapter is mostly bad too, but there is a little bit of good.
So
and it's not Himawari. That's
so
for
like
sure.
What is bizarre is like, okay, Kurama seemingly implied when he was going to die that he was going to die.
Yeah.
He was going to die.
Trust me, we know.
He was like, Naruto, don't you die, so we'll come back to the afterlife, and you'll meet me there. And then he lives, reincarnates into Himawari,
and explains how it was obviously going to happen, because that's how it always goes, no matter what.
Sauron, did you not read Naruto Shippuden? They explained that the tailed beasts reincarnate.
Yeah, and everyone was like, and I was like, yeah, no crap. But they seemingly implied at this time was different. And you want to know something? Everyone's having revisionist history. Everyone was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. His chakra burnt out. This all works. Everyone was thinking that. And then people were like, revisionist history. No, this is how it's always worked. It's like, you agreed that this made sense. What's happening?
Well, in my opinion, I don't think inherently it had to be like he couldn't reincarnate. The one problem
but they implied that
Kurama's
it was
dialogue indicating that if Naruto dies, he will be joining Kurama. But that's just like, if that was true, then here's the problem. Hypothetically, it was true. He would join Naruto only for Kurama to just leave him in the afterlife in 2 years.
And I'm assuming that
Naruto was a little bit later and Kurama's already started reincarnating, and Naruto just doesn't join him.
I'm confident when Kurama died, he didn't go to the Pure Lands. I'm confident his chakra was lingering on Earth, because I'm pretty sure that's stated.
I think he goes in like a semi like limbo state, and then once he's fully reincarnated, he goes back into the after. He's not going to the afterlife. That doesn't make sense.
No, I think the chakra lingers on Earth. I think it's bound to Earth. I think they state that. I think it's almost like Astra and Ingra, to where they just their chakra's just like floating through Earth until it latches.
Oh yeah,
onto
and that's
the
what
target.
allows them their chakra to recollect it, and then they
Yeah,
can reincarnate. Yeah, you're
exactly.
correct. That is how that was said. So the problem is the dialogue, like you're saying. Like
There's so many
that's
ways
the
they can
issue.
fix it. Kurama could have just said, "I didn't think I was going to reincarnate,"
Yeah.
like because of the way like normally we reincarnate, but because my chakra burned out, I never thought I'd reincarnate. So this is a surprise to me, or something like that, and it
Mhm.
would be fine. Then it would be consistent. You can say ass pull, whatever, but at least it'd be consistent. But no, Kurama explains it as though this was always going to be the case, and he knew it.
He knew it the whole time.
Does Kurama ever imply that like the reason why he reincarnated in Himawari is because she already had essence of Kurama anyway?
That's the worst part.
He offers that as one of 3 hypotheses.
Because like if that's the case, why didn't Naruto ever like reference that? Why could he never sense that she had that within her? Was that never a thing that he could do despite having very good sensory abilities?
Even Kurama himself, because Kurama doesn't say it as though he knows that's the case. He said, perhaps it's because you inherited a sliver of my chakra, or
How is
perhaps
it
it's because of your
perhaps?
Hyuga and Uzumaki blood, or perhaps it's simply fate. He doesn't know the reason. He doesn't even imply he knows Himawari inherited his power. It's just a possibility.
Okay. Interesting. Is the implication that she is like a Sinju like because she was
No,
always
the
had
implication is that she's a Biju, not a Shinju.
so she'd be like Shinju like they are Biju.
Kind of. Well, oh yeah, he says
Ish.
you may have been born inheriting a sliver of my chakra. So Kurama never just knew if she did or not. Like in the
Okay.
past, which is wild. Like if she did, how would Kurama just not know?
Is that I have no that this how do you not know that somebody has a piece of you within you? Within
That's the thing.
another person. And that doesn't add up to
Yeah.
making
If
any
Kurama
sense.
always knew that aspect, be like you inherited some of my chakra, maybe
decided
that's
to
why
never
I
tell
reincarnated
your-
you. That would have made sense to me. But he's like, oh well, I don't know if you did, but maybe you did.
Mm,
So,
Mm.
Sauron, are you looking at my
Okay.
screen?
Oh yeah.
So
I
this is
look
the
at
most
it the whole
damning
time.
thing. So after he gives the 3 possibilities, that it's her blood, or because of the other thing, or because of fate, doesn't matter.
Well, since
Then
it's
he says
already
this.
happened, the how doesn't matter. What's
This is spitting in our faces.
no. This is Kishimoto going. Yeah.
This is him saying, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna bother
This ain't
explaining
Kishimoto,
it.
bro. This is Ikimoto. Kishimoto said Ikimoto, bring Kurama back, and Iko was like, I don't know how. Oh, I have an idea. It doesn't matter how.
I think what I think is that
Unironically,
Kishimoto is
yeah.
writing the outline of the story, and then Ikimoto does the rest and writes the scripts.
Most broad outline ever.
That,
I
you know
think
what?
he is
That's
writing the
possible.
outline.
That could be.
But
That
like,
could be why.
We can't
No,
say that
actually,
like it's impossible. Kishimoto has inconsistencies within his story.
Kishimoto would never.
I mean, no, but you know what? You know what though? No, but here's the thing: the outline of the story aspect that could work because, like we've said, it does seem like there are themes and like good stuff underlying, but the execution and the dialogue is where everything seems so
Yeah, which is-
weird
Yeah.
and
which is
forced.
flimsy.
The
Which
script.
is why I think that that's what's happening. I think that's why
It could
this
be
is
that
the case.
Ikimoto took over
Do
Kodachi's
not
script
begin.
part, and that's why everything's executed so
Okay.
oddly.
Yeah.
The story of Boruto is about Jin.
Okay, so just explain broadly. You don't have to go too in depth your issue with the G word and within this context.
Well, it's usually other people would present their take on it, and then I would present my counter
Mhm.
to their take. So it's not that I would have a problem with it, it's that other people would present their take, and then I would have a problem with their take. So
Do
I
you have a
would
so
usually want someone to.
what
do that.
exactly is your problem with like the thought process of like Himawari having superior genetics to Naruto?
So usually when people say that, what they mean is that Himawari has Hagoromo and Hamura's chakra. Is usually how they would start.
Yeah, and they'd say that like, oh, she has it from Hamura, has it from Hagoromo via Naruto, Hinata. That combined would kind of create very good genetics.
That I'm actually fine with that. That's passed down through the bloodline that they get in life.
Yeah.
What I have a problem with is they're arguing it's because of the Uzumaki and Hyuga bloodline, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that it ties back to them. And so it's combining the two bloodlines, and that's how she's getting it. And it's no, I don't like
How
it.
would the Uzumaki and Hyuga?
Isn't it that, or is it something else? It's Hagoromo and Hamura's bloodline.
Yeah.
And so they're coming back together, reforming Kaguya.
Yeah, that is where people jump to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I'm like kind of like I hope that we get answers eventually, but like if this is like
Well,
how
they
they go
foreshadow that we will.
if they go about it like the way that they just did, it's like I keep saying they, even though like this is mostly written by like one person. If he goes about it the way that he's going about it, with like, oh, the reasons don't matter, then it's like, how am I gonna hope for an explanation?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's really silly. I'm kind of worried to read chapter 10 because it's just like it's already pretty
I
bad.
want you to read it now.
The way that it is.
And I want you to rant about it. Read chapter 11 too if you haven't.
I did read chapter 11.
Okay.
But it's worse.
Well, actually, no, this is good. Read chapter 10.
I read
It will make you hate chapter 11 more.
I read it in isolation.
Interesting.
Yes.
I was
and then,
like,
so read
I was
chapter 10 and then reread 11 after. Just reread like the first part.
I was like irritated with the blatant contradiction that Himawari had within the chapter. That was very silly. Other than that, everything else I had no context for really. So I was just like, yeah, this is all hunky-dory stuff.
Now, I will say, yeah, without context, you don't get the problems, and it looks like a really cool chapter on the surface. Like Himawari versus Jura. Yeah, exactly. The paneling of that.
I'm not gonna
specifically
lie,
those like two pages with the like he flies up in the air. And then
that
the
is some
Bijou
of
bomb.
Ikimoto's best paneling ever.
Yes.
The way how it like flows is so fast. I
Exactly,
thought
bro.
it was very good.
It felt
It flows-
animated.
The panel flows directly into Himawari's hair circle,
good.
right into that middle dome. I was like, wow,
So good. Yeah.
like you actually cooked with the paneling and choreography there. I was like,
and
actually
the
good
Hidari
stuff.
fight was cool
And he didn't
too.
copy poses either.
Like the choreography of the Hidari fight, I also really loved how they just flew through that. It was so smooth.
And like Hidari, the coolest thing with Hidari, dude, bro stuck his hand in his pocket, and that was actually putting his hand in the claw mark behind people. That is the most sly move ever. That's
really
what I
cool.
want from claw marks, baby. That's awesome.
They're actually using it in like
the way Code used to do before he got his limiters removed and started to be an idiot.
Yeah, basically. It's man. Yeah, I'm so glad.
Speaking of Damon, we haven't seen that guy in like 6 chapters.
I'm very glad I didn't read chapter 10 because I liked chapter 11. It was cool.
I want you to read chapter 10 now.
Bro,
I don't want to.
Specifically, the spoilers of chapter 10 are better. Like, you got Hidari calling people straight up stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's something that I do like about this chapter. I like Hidari's dialogue. I like just how like utterly confused he is about everything people say. They're like,
why are you asking me such ridiculous questions?
Practically all of Hidari in this chapter was great. Not just the fight.
What's wrong with you? I don't even know who that is. Can you stop?
It's his character, his demeanor, his dialogue, what he means with what he says. Everything about it.
And the thing is,
great.
like, when Jura and Hidari are speaking, I don't picture them with like this incredibly like with still like emotional, a lot of malice within their voice. I think they're very calm, collected, kind of like Mitsuki's voice. They'll have like deeper voices, but their tonal quality will be similar to like Mitsuki, where it's very like flat, monotone like. Because well, they shouldn't have like emotions. I doubt they'll have a
Well,
lot
they
of
do.
inflections in their voice. They have emotions, but they're not that emotional.
Yeah.
Like I expect them to have like a more flat and monotone voice. So definitely, I am excited to hear these lines actually be spoken by people.
Yeah.
I really like their dialogue. Jura, it is funny. Like Jura uses like a lot of like, oh my lord, there's something in my ear.
You know, I will say actually real quick about Jura. The anime I feel like is well, so this is actually really interesting because the anime did not use Jiraiya's voice for Kashi and Koji, but part of me feels like they're going to have Hidari have Sasuke's voice actor.
They probably
and if that
will.
is the case, whoever, if they use Kawaki's voice actor or Jigen's voice actor, that's just gonna spoil who Jura is.
I feel
If
like
they
we
don't
won't
give
have
him
to
a
worry
unique
about
voice.
that. We're not
No,
gonna get
Jura
that
will
animated
have
before we
a
have that revealed.
Jura will have a unique voice.
But
He'll
that would
have
be
a-
really weird if he's just revealed to be like Kawaki or Ishii.
Well,
Like, why
Kamui,
does
let's
he
be
have-
honest. We're not
especially if
getting that.
Hidari
We're
has-
not getting voice actors for that for years. We don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
No,
revealed.
but I mean, it's
So-
a spoiler for the anime only. Is
No,
what I mean.
The
But
reason is because
Okay.
they're not gonna give people this for like mysteries of like who people
that's why
are.
I feel
They're not
like
gonna
but
give
for
people the same voice.
I agree, but for consistency, I feel like they shouldn't give Hidari Sasuke's voice, but I know they're going to because it's hype. So they're going to.
They're gonna give Milwaukee the same voice as the original voice actress. Bug will have the same voice actor. Juro will not.
Yeah, I know. Like, I agree with you, but it just feels very inconsistent. The jury's just revealed to be so like, but whatever.
Bro, they should just go wild with Jura. Give him like Naruto's voice actor or something. Really throw people for a loop.
I imagine him having a sophisticated voice.
Bro, you know what? No, go balls to the walls. Give him Rock Lee's voice actor.
Yeah, I Rock Lee.
Naruto.
My name is Jura, and I just unlocked my ego. It's like,
That's like crazy, right?
Yeah, let's actually. All right, it would be funny to rank who would be the funniest voice for Jura. Like, this is such a drag. I unlocked my voice, my ego.
Wait,
Like-
who's that one guy? Crap.
Rock
What's
Lee's would
his
be pretty
name?
funny.
What's his
My
name?
name's James Sabaki, and I've got my ego. Believe it.
yes.
Honestly, the funniest voice actor for Juro would probably just be Naruto.
Naruto or Rock Lee
Yeah.
would be really funny.
So funny.
Mike Guy. Mike Guy's English dub voice actor. Bro, he can do Itachi, he can do evil voice, but
Bro, I can
it'd be
imagine
funny if he
Jura,
used the Mike Guy voice.
Jura with Mike Guy's voice, and my target is Kakashi.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Life treating you good?
Okay, so
My
do you guys have
eternal
other issues with
rival.
Chapter 11?
Any what with chapter
Bro,
11?
I want to Mike Guy Shinju now. That's too funny to not do.
Any what with chapter 11, Sauron?
You have any other issues with Chapter 11?
All of them.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even started.
Let's start more. Let's go to more sections. So, past page 5.
No, we should start with page 1. Inojin was healed.
Yeah.
Let's
No, but
start with that.
talked. No, we talked about that earlier. We already
No, we
talked.
didn't really. No. We talked about it from one aspect. We haven't talked about it from all aspects.
You want to talk about narratively how it's stupid?
Here.
And that he should just die?
Sauron, this will be the perfect way to understand our thoughts on this. I want to get your reaction to this in chat.
Oh my.
I wish I was looking.
That
I
is.
will look in a minute.
It's the
That's to his
videos.
abdomen.
It's the videos
Right?
titled "I'm glad Inojin died" with a picture of him looking stupid, and another video titled
Oh, you
"Jura's
were glad
aesthetics
that
are
he
so
died.
decorative."
I like those titles. You were glad that he died? Quote, unquote?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we have another
Hmm.
video
When
that's not as funny. There's like 5 Inojin's death videos. Here's
When
a
I heard
23-minute one. Inojin's death
when
was
I heard
bad.
about it, I thought it was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
When I heard about it via spoilers, I thought that it was dumb that they were gonna give him a fake
Inojin's
death.
Bond explained.
Because I never believed that he was ever going to die. Because my assumption was, well, Kurama will just help Himawari be able to heal Inojin, so he'll be fine. So I never believed that he was actually going to die.
Okay.
I also don't think that it would work very well, at least... I'm attached to Inojin only because of stuff in the anime. If I never had watched him
yeah,
before,
don't worry.
I would
got
feel
something
absolutely
to say about
nothing.
that too. Don't you worry.
So he gets like practically like no screen time within the manga very much, and then as soon as he gets any ounce, he starts doing something. You immediately attempt to quote unquote kill him off as a shock value moment for the audience.
Yeah.
You can have somebody die. Have him die. It's completely worthless. There's nothing really there for. There's not a lot there to like really work with. It's just kind of a death for the sake of a death, which is why I thought it would be dumb if he actually did die in this manner. But I wish that they didn't do a fake out death. Period, because this is what
That's
this
the
is.
thing.
It's a fake out death for the sake of shock value. It's hollow.
The thing, so we discussed if he was going to die, they should. We've discussed this from ad nauseum, but like, just the more of the story is they should have built up that relationship so much more, and they should have really. You can do this in the manga too. Added a huge impact to the moment. We discussed all the ways they could have built up and the freaking art thing. Like,
To me-
have aesthetics mean something to Himawari because of Inoji, and then Jura says it in a very evil way, and
I
it pisses her off,
absolutely
blah blah
agree.
blah. But that's getting to the like if he actually died. But the
Like, I
thing is, now that you've already killed him with no build up, just kill him because there's no thematic relevancy to bringing him back, which is a stark contrast to pretty much every other fake out death in Naruto that we can get into if you want. Because I would argue Might Guy, Kakashi in the Pain Arc, Sasuke in the Land of Waves, and more narratively should have been brought back because of the thematics of the arc. But that does not apply to this case because it's
it
not that
doesn't.
Jura spared Inojin unconsciously because of his identity and he just didn't want to kill him. No, it's just that Himawari healed him the very next
Was
chapter.
something she
like,
should not be able to even do.
Yeah, or she shouldn't know to. It's not know how to. It's not even be able to do. It's not even know how to do. It's to know to do it in the first place.
Yeah,
How does
Kurama
she
didn't
even know
squat.
how to? How does she even know how to flow her chakra to be able to do that?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the question. How? We want to
And
know.
why does she know she can do that
In the first place.
Yeah.
in the first place?
So like I do understand. Like generally, you're like, oh, he should just die. I don't agree, but I understand that rationale. I hate that they did this. Period. I thought it was dumb.
They shouldn't have.
I thought it was stupid. I don't
I
like
mean-
I don't like non-built. I don't like characters who have been around for a while having death shoved in front of your face for shock value. If you're gonna do it, just kill them, I guess. But it's stupid. It's just dumb. I hate this.
So we have
Honestly, I haven't liked any of the Himawari Kurama stuff outside of basically when she was first found, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. But chapter 9 and onward, I have just hated.
If what
the
I
whole
read in
Himawari
chapter
Kurama
10 is what a lot of it consists of, I don't like it either.
Yeah.
But I'll read it and see. Those lines are gonna bother me regardless. So I'm gonna have mixed opinions regardless. But I'm probably gonna read the rest of it and see like what my general consensus is. But overall, I'll have mixed opinions. It's a lot of dumb stuff.
So we have 8 videos back to back on the channel. I posted a screenshot of it in general if you want to look at the titles or thumbnails or anything. 8
Inogen's
videos back to
death
back
was
of
bad.
Inogen's death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sign Ino's revenge against Jura incoming. Interesting. Okay.
The most
they don't
so,
exist.
yeah, exactly. Now we talk about it from every
angle.
angle. That video is a meme. We talk about every aspect of what they
Ino
should do.
exists. I don't exist.
Even that Avatar
You're
video
aware
is
of
like
that.
a Inojin rewrite. That top left
Yeah.
video, Inojin needed to die for Kawaki. That's like the most narratively important video of these 8, I would say. Some of these are memes, some of these are like more serious.
I'm
like,
gonna watch
Inojin's
that
death
one
was
because
bad.
I'm quite frankly
Well,
confused.
no, I mean, we can continue.
this title?
I can briefly explain this because it actually ties in well with something we talked about yesterday about the whole humanity
Yeah, can you
aspect
explain
in the terms of the
broadly?
shinobi thing. Like I said this before.
Oh, he was definitely a plot device in the code arc. He literally just spelled out, "Hey, da 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 da."
Yeah.
And Kamai's like, "Oh, that's
This
lovely.
is how you break the
Thank
barriers.
you, relevant Thank you for being relevant for 1.1 seconds. Time to start the plot now."
Thank you for only being here so that I can have this information in a way that seems seamless.
Mm-hmm. So it's seemingly confirmed, right? Chocho does not have butterfly mode in the manga.
No,
Because
that's actually interesting because didn't she do it on command in the anime?
If she did,
Yeah, I think she does.
don't you think she has super strength?
Yeah, actually, and she should only have it better after this time.
She should just pick up Shikadai and go flying.
Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't even consider
Oh,
that.
actually, let's just get into all right. I want to get into these 2 things real quick because I put it in podcast topics. I think if you want to show stream,
Really
so
quick,
this
Kamui,
reminds me-
is this still relevant to Kawaki? Because I wanted to clip this as a video, and I had one more thing on Kawaki.
Okay, it is irrelevant to Kawaki. So,
did you say
do your
relevant or
thing, then.
irrelevant? Okay, irrelevant. Okay.
Irrelevant.
Okay. I did promise this person that I would read their comment next stream, and that was last stream. Well, really 2 streams ago, but at this point. But so user XJ8, they have an actual name. I don't know why it gives their @ instead of their YouTube name, but whatever. Whoever's this in.
All right. So we discussed the Inogen thing. That goes to page 5. Do you have anything else? What do you have? Do you have issues beyond that?
Well, we haven't really finished with chapter 10. Do you want to get into the preconceived biases thing, Oodie?
Y'all talked about chapter 10 last month.
A month
Yeah, but
isn't
we're talking
enough.
about it with you. we haven't had our fill on this bullshit.
Kamui, take it away.
Yeah, so okay, in chapter 10, Himawari is kind of being like, "Oh, I can't do it. I can't do this." And Kurama's over here like, "Oh, you fool. Get rid of those preconceived biases you have. You have to believe in yourself." Now, let me ask you, Saran. You watch the anime, the Boruto anime a lot, right?
I've watched majority of the episodes.
Okay, perfect. So never mind the fact that this is in the manga. In the Boruto anime, has Himawari ever had a preconceived bias in general or not believed in herself?
On anything.
Has she ever had a preconceived bias or never not believed in herself?
Yeah.
In the anime. Can you think of a single time?
She found a way there.
Like in the anime, she was prideful of her art in that episode. She's the one that, even in the worst possible situation, she kept her head up and got her new team in the academy out of that well when the bees were going to consume them.
She was literally following a bunch of suspicious-looking people that could have potentially killed her and had full confidence.
Literally activate her Byakugan to chase them down.
She was begging Kawaki to help him with the mission to protect the girl in the Kawaki Academy arc. Forgot her name, but
she breaks out of her restraints and then immediately turns on her Byakugan to challenge someone who is stronger than her. No, she's never had. Yeah.
Like even with
Exactly.
with
And
the
so
wolf
I don't
Jaggy.
want to hear it. Oh, it's in the anime. It's not even in the anime. She's never had preconceived biases. They invented not just a flaw she didn't have, the flaw that she had the exact opposite of. She was very confident in herself. She's the most open-minded character in the verse. She's never biased.
It's not just a retcon.
What?
It's worse than a contradiction. It just doesn't exist.
Wait, what does it say again?
It's on my screen right
Get
now.
rid of any foolish preconceived biases. You need to
Get rid of any
you need to
foolish-
believe in yourself.
Preconceived biases on what?
We don't even know what he's
He doesn't
referring to.
clarify.
We can only assume it's
Believe in
biases
yourself.
to think that you can't do it.
Believe in
because-
yourself. Believe in yourself. That makes sense.
Because
Fine.
it's
But
in reference.
preconceived biases.
It's in reference to right here. So Jura's gonna like attack them. Himawari screaming out Kurama, and then Kurama saying, "Don't be a spoiled baby, Himawari. The only one who can do something about this is you." Himawari looks hesitant. You look at Jura, and then
Spoiled.
it should be a no-brainer whether you use or quash my powers. It's all up to you. That's legal jargon, by the way. Quash, but irrelevant.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Spoiled.
So this is what the line is referenced to.
Yeah.
You say that like it's easy, but how am I supposed to? So that is
Okay.
her not believing in herself and having foolish preconceived biases. You say that
Huh?
like it's easy, but how am I
No.
supposed to?
That's just her not fully believing herself. What's the bias? What's the preconceived biases?
Is she even not believing in herself? She's not saying it's
more so just
impossible.
questioning. She's just questioning
Like,
her.
how do I
ability.
do it?
Like,
Yeah,
how does
it's
she
a-
do it? Like, can you explain?
Like, it's a genuine question.
No, wait. You're correct. Wait,
And
hold
then-
on.
Yeah.
She's
then
just
in the next
asking a
chapter-
question.
But and then she remind you, Himawari doesn't know how to do any of this, and then she just gets mad, and it kind of brings out that power. But then she immediately knows not just how to, but also to heal Inojin when she doesn't know this in the previous chapter.
You think that like Kurama's just like that's just how his character is supposed to be in the scene? Like he's meant to be like a little bit more harsh than he should be, and he's just kind of
Well,
saying
there's different
random jargon.
interpretations you can make on this. I've discussed two in my last video that I made about this chapter.
Because like some of the
Um,
stuff he's saying in
but-
here is definitely harsher than I would have expected him to be.
So on one hand, you could just say he's literally just trying to like basically mental amp Himawari, improve her mental state because she's being mentally weak. That's one option, totally fine. The other one is to some extent because they're one body and soul. Kurama may have already essentially given Himawari his power, and at this point, it's like I can't do anything more. You already have it. Just use it. That's the other interpretation.
Okay, so that would be interesting because if there are one body and one soul, Kurama probably never had to learn. By the way, the whole one body one soul, it's stupid. There's clearly just whatever.
Yeah.
But Kurama never probably had to learn how to heal people. He probably never had to learn how to shoot Biju bombs. He probably could just do it because
Oh, that reminded me of another thing about
He
chapter
could-
11.
he could probably always just intuitively do it just because he could. So let's say like that's basically why Himawari can do the stuff that she is doing.
No, but
because
again, though, no, I agree with that. My problem, though, is that's why you can excuse the Biju bomb and the healing of herself. My problem, though, is she walked up to Inojin with the intent of healing him. That requires her to know that she can
Yeah.
heal him.
If she
There's no
healed
other
him
reason
by
to walk up
acc-
to him and do
if
it.
she healed him by accident, that would be a different thing.
But she didn't, because she
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, I don't know if I did it right,"
Or if
implying like this
Yeah.
is intentional.
if it was like
Yeah,
an
so it's still a-
instinctual
it's
thing,
still
like
a
in the heat of
flaw.
the moment, like I don't know why my body just moved, like just
Yeah. Then that would
casually
be
walks out.
that'd be a reference to what Naruto said, like what Sasuke just said. Yeah, so no, it's still an issue.
That would have worked better
It's still
for
an issue.
Inojin. Why did you? See, it actually, real quick about the Inojin thing, I would have changed it to just Inojin, like Himawari's getting like about to get sucked up by the tree. Inojin barges in, rips Himawari out, and accidentally gets sucked up by the tree. Like he falls into the tree, or he gets stabbed by a spike, whatever. It's like like he saved Himawari, and then she's like, "Why did you do that?" And he's just like, then you can do, "Oh, I don't know, my body moved on its own, whatever." Instead of whatever the fuck they did.
Ow. This is kind of a side tangent, but like a lot of people on like Twitter were like, Hinojin's a hemophile and a pedophile for some reason. Do they have any romantic interactions in these chapters? Why are people saying that?
It's a little bit of a stretch. I wouldn't say it's impossible for there to be a romance because he is like, "Oh, I'm gonna protect you," like a little bit extra, but like
what
that
I've seen
isn't
so
inherently
far, it's
romantic.
like a big brother relationship.
Exactly.
No?
It could easily be that. It's no different than Kawaki. You're not saying
Twitter's-
Kawaki's
Yeah.
romantically.
People on Twitter
And
can
that's-
just be so weird.
Well, that's why you
Anyways.
shouldn't be on Twitter.
But also,
so.
Inojin's only 2 years older than Himawari.
Yeah, he's 14. He's the youngest out of Chikacho. I think
So
he
it's
was
not
born
as weird as they're making
before
it.
them. He was before and after them. Like I think he's a few months younger than them.
Yeah, I will say though, if you look at this latest chapter when Boruto's holding Himawari, bro looks like he's like 6 years older than her.
Yeah.
Boruto looks 4 years older than Shikadai, despite them being the same age.
Yeah.
Kawaki Sarada looks older than Shikadai as well. For some reason, Team 7 just looks old, despite them being the exact
Sarada
same age as
doesn't
everyone
look.
else.
I think Boruto and Kawaki and Mitsuki look older than Sarada and Samurai, then Team Shikadai.
I do agree.
Because Mitsuki looks like the same age as Boruto and Kawaki.
He does.
But-
He looks like he's about to enter his 20s.
Ironically, Mitsuki and Kawaki are the ones with the greasy ass hair. But
Man, look
there
at
could be a
Himawari's
correlation.
face of
I think
rage
it looks
I put in
good
chat.
on. People are like, "Oh my gosh, she got aura," and I'm like, "Where? This is aura?"
I have
Crazy,
the
bro.
perfect meme. This is Hidari's rage face.
Yeah,
Oh,
literally.
damn.
But yeah, Kurama. No, you got to do Kurama. Kurama, let's go rage together, and then you have Himawari's just straight face.
He looks more stoic than angry.
Oh, she doesn't. She just looks unbothered.
No. Here you go. She's angry here. Anger.
She gets angry like 10 pages later when Jura is blabbing on and on.
No. This is 8 pages and she's now angry.
Oh, that's way better.
She has. See the frown?
Yeah, she's now angry after Jura let her heal Inojin again. Why is she even angry anymore? She should have been angry when Inojin was
hold
healed.
on.
Not be angry.
Why did she go from being angry at the end of chapter 10? I'm just looking at the pages. She went from being angry in chapter 10 to being stoic and bland and
Yeah,
stoic.
you
Just
tell
kind
me.
of nonchalant in the chapter later, and then goes back to being angry. I know this is I know people would call this a nitpick. It's whatever. It's fine, but like it's still like depiction wise when you're like talking about like how a character comes off, it should be important to draw them in a particular way.
It's like the
And
reason she unlocked her
it's
power in
weird
the first place, and it's supposed to be a big moment. Like, can you imagine how pissed people would be is if we got that Naruto versus Haku episode? At the end of the episode, Sasuke dies. Naruto's like, "I'm gonna kill you." He looks up rage face. They end the episode. Next episode, he's as calm and cool and just collected as can be, as Himawari is here.
No,
like,
I
to
got a
me,
better one.
it is
I got a
very
better one.
jarring to go from this to that. That's
I-
weird.
I got a better one for you, Oodie. Imagine when Naruto went Six Tails versus Pain at the end of the chapter,
Yeah.
and then the next chapter, he was just in base, and he's like trying to talk to Nagato, like, "Hey, can we just talk it out?"
All right. Next talking point.
But yeah, actually, no. Like, I'm looking at this shit. Like, Himawari really just went
It's
from
so
like
good.
she's in the rage mode spot where she was raging, and then just jumps down and just is cool again.
It's weird. It's jarring. Reading that back to back would have been so weird for me.
Trust me, it gets
So,
way
next
worse
one-
with the month wait when you don't know what happens.
Yeah, the biggest letdown ever.
In the chapter with it start the
Like,
next
don't
chapter
hype
with
it
the
up as a
opposite.
rage moment for her to not be in rage. This next point, though, is going to be the smallest one. Why on earth, right after they clearly show Inojine's wound being perfectly healed, do they have Himawari say, "I'm not sure if it's fixed properly. Get him to the hospital quickly."
I'm a little maybe because
Why?
maybe she's saying because she doesn't know she only healed the outside and not the inside.
But they're not going to do anything with that. Because here's the thing. Let's say they go with that and Inojine's still critically injured. What's the point in having her heal him in the first place? Just have Inojine be rushed to be like, just have her in the hospital while she's angry and then goes after her. Or Shikanai just does
I
it.
guess it's because like it would if he's still gonna be critical injured when he goes to the hospital. By that point, he'd probably, because of how much they'd have to move him, he'd just bleed out.
But again, though, but there's no point in the critical injury. If he's just going to get saved by Sakura anyway, just have Himawari save him in the first place. There's no point in doing this.
Yeah,
plot
I
line.
agree. There's no point. Just have him be fully healed.
See,
Also, the way that
this actually
if
gives me
she's meant
hope
to
that
just
he's
be
gonna
able-
die. I want him to die. this is what I'm
Yeah.
clinging to.
Like, I'm clinging that. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't fixed
bother me
properly.
if he died
That's what
in
I'm
that
hoping for.
fashion. But hey, maybe I'll like that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, freaking
Whatever. Hey, if
Sakura's, like,
he
trying to heal
dies and
him,
they
he
introduce
can't.
Hoki within the manga, I'd be happy.
In fact, maybe they can go somewhere with Inojine dying here, because Kurama can be like, "I told you to drop those preconceived biases. Look what happened." And Himawari can be like, "Ah, you're right. This is all my fault. I can't believe I let this happen. This was my mistake. I was
Introduce an
lying to
anime-only
myself
character
all
into the
along."
manga. Get rid of Inojin. Give me
Yes.
Hoki or Tsubaki. Or Denki. I'd take both of them over Inojin any day.
Yeah. Give Kawaki a point. Any point at all, I'll take at this point. I'll freaking take Inojine being the point. So sad.
Alright. What's your next point?
Kamui?
I'm trying to find the panels for this so that way I can
Okay, well, I do
get
want to go
this
through
a
the whole
little bit
chapter
better.
one by one, but I will say with the Delta scene, Kawaki and Delta, in the spoilers, it was especially hilarious, since you were mentioning that earlier.
What did the spoilers say?
Trying to find where it happens in the chapter. I don't know why I didn't just scroll down here. Okay. Hey, Kawaki, ... Don't get mad at me, but we're about to face the opponents you just got your ass whooped by.
What? That's what it said?
Yeah.
That's worse.
Oh, yeah, sorry, we
That's
never
so
even
much
went through. We
better.
never
What
went
do you
through the
plan on
translations. I
doing once
forgot
we
That's a
about this.
get
We
lot.
there?
still need to
That's
do
a lot
that.
more funny.
Right? I know. That works so much better. I love it.
In the manga plus viz whatever. This guy beat the crap out of you.
Yeah.
That's what she says. So what's the point of going there? But yeah, the manga version's a lot more. Okay, so like to me, like this version of Delta has always seemed more kind in comparison to
Yeah.
the original Delta.
Oh yeah.
That dialogue there fits what the original Delta was like.
Mhm.
It's also more conversational, like normal way. Like how, hey, don't get mad, but like we're about to face people you just got your ass whooped by. So like, what do you plan on doing once you get there? Versus like whatever the hell she says in this chapter.
Yeah. I agree. Very funny. I love this. This is my favorite part of the chapter. Or spoiler translations, I should say.
I still want to read those spoiler translations now.
Yeah, that's fine. See what she says about the pancakes. 'Cause I was confident they must be just mistranslating something there. It's like, what?
So, okay, I don't know what order. Wait, also, yeah, what is this power you've got? I'm not sure. What do you, bro? You at least know it's Kurama. Let's just say that. But
there was one line here that was really ridiculous.
The next point, though, okay, is this. Himawari says, you guys get away now. Considering that he's only after me, you should be safe as long as you don't try to interfere. Hurry. And then Chocho tries to interfere, and Shikanai's like, Chocho, let's go. We're just in the way. Blah, blah, blah. Calm down and think about it. This is a battle we have little chance of winning, so we gotta minimize our losses. That's what Himawari is saying. So, that makes sense, right? 2 chapters ago, chapter 9, Inojin, could you let me off somewhere alone? Huh? I'll escape on my own. Hold up, what are you talking about? No, no way. It's Shikanai. There's no way they won't catch you. You know that, right? Himawari, but it's the same for you. They're too strong. Like, they wouldn't ditch Himawari, and this continues into the next chapter. They wouldn't ditch Himawari. Why? Because those who break the rules are scum. That's true. But those who abandon their friends are worse than scum, right? Ninja shit. And then in the next chapter, Himawari says the same thing. Just leave me alone because they're only after me anyway. And Shikanai's just like, yeah, you're right. You're right. That's right. We should just leave you. What happened to minimizing losses in chapter 9?
I think at this point, Kawaki. I think Shikanai's like, okay, so she has this new Nine Tails power.
But that's not what he said. He should have said, Himawari seems strong. Like, I think she can win or something. Because what the explanation he gets is we gotta minimize our losses. We can't win because he's too strong. That applied back then. They gotta minimize losses. We can't win, so we'll just leave. Because they don't know that Himawari will win.
This was that before or after Inojin? Did he say that before or after Inojin got stabbed?
Before Inojin got stabbed, he was like, we're not gonna ditch you. After Inojin got stabbed, he's like, yeah, we're gonna ditch you.
Well, okay. Well, at this point, if they stay, Inojin could potentially die, and then if Himawari also dies, they lose 2 men.
But again, that's not the reason Shikanai gave. He said we're in the way, especially with Inojin here. But what he should have said is, Chocho, we need to get Inojin to the hospital or else he might die. But that's not what he said. He reiterated what Himawari has been saying and they argued against before.
Oh, I see. Yeah. That is weird.
If he just said, like, we need to get Inojin to the hospital, we've been fine with this.
This just isn't that good of dialogue. He should say something else.
I think we're learning here the dialogue is the problem.
The concept is fine. Like, I think this all makes sense, but the dialogue is wrong.
Yeah.
But like his actions make sense. And the situation has changed. They would lose more people if they stay at this point. Now that they don't know if he's fully healed yet. He's just saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Point number. What's your next point?
Oh, I made another meme.
Is this in chapter? Yeah, I saw it. It's very. I don't know.
Why
This
is
one's
rage
fair.
face?
I don't think this is fair.
It's pretty fair.
This
Like
is-
she's got the sweat mark and everything.
Not fair.
I like
Not
it. I
It's
like
the
it.
perfect place.
Why don't they give emojis eyebrows?
Yeah, I mean,
So this next one isn't really a nitpick, but more of a question. Himawari says, if I have this power, I want to carry the responsibility that comes with it, because I feel that that's what Dad and Big Bro would do. Has either Boruto or Kawaki ever really given that sentiment? Boruto's never said, well, if I have this karma power, so I want to carry the responsibility that comes with having this power. No, bro,
that's never
like,
really the reason why they do what they do. It's not because of responsibility. It's just because they feel like this is just what they need to do to get the job done.
So
it's never because of
responsibility. I can understand Naruto, sure, whatever.
It could just be her interpretation. Like, it's probably because they feel a great sense of responsibility when, like, no.
Yeah, but it's because it isn't actually, it would be meaningful if Boruto said that, like, not to Himawari, but like maybe Boruto said this line before. I know that's what my dad would do, but what my dad would do line was a very different thing. And it actually was relevant because it is what his dad would do and it worked. This case, it's nobody's.
We literally get hit with the great power comes a great responsibility.
Yeah, like people. Does she think her brother's Spider-Man? Like,
well, an interesting question. Regardless of dad and she, so who do you think she's referring to when she says Big Brother, Boruto or Kawaki?
Kawaki.
Because she is under Omnipotence, yeah. But she is a supporter of Boruto. She does view both of them as big brothers. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting.
So, but this tells you what I've been saying for a while of the Kawaki agenda being good. Kawaki is responsible. For these past 3 years, he's shown Himawari how responsible he is.
He has. He's just been a dick.
Yeah. A responsible dick.
If we weren't on stream, I have so many jokes that I could make. I'm not gonna make them. But anyways.
So for the next point, I want to go to podcast topics for this for a quick second.
I love it. Bro's still alive in that hole. I need redemption.
I didn't even think about Saran's point. Different continuity, I guess. Where's Chocho's butterfly mode?
Yeah.
What happened to that thing? The thing that amps her like 200 billion times, 100 times stronger than before. I sure think that 100 times multiplier would be useful right now.
I mean, apparently if, like, less than one Tails form Himawari is putting up a fight with full power Jura, butterfly mode is just fodderizing him. No diff. One shot.
But again, this is like another goofy example of what I said about the Jigen fight. But this is I think the Jigen fight's way more tolerable because at least Kurama Naruto went into the Kurama avatar and shit. Like, he used his strongest stuff. He just didn't use all of his hacks abilities, right?
Yeah.
Chocho's just straight up not using her number one most obvious best ability that she's used in the anime more than once. Like, on command.
So, here's actually an interesting aspect of this with Himawari's power. Obviously, we know that Himawari doesn't have as much chakra as Naruto. I don't think this Kurama has as much chakra as the previous Kurama.
Definitely smaller. That's kind of an indication.
Yeah, so my question, do you think Kurama is supposed to be smaller or younger? Because everyone loves to call this baby Kurama. I'm wondering if that's actually coming from somewhere.
Oh, I think they're just saying it because he looks small.
Yeah, well, he is small, but is it because he is small or because he looks small? He has cuter
problem,
baby features.
Is, like, I know, and I understand it. There's a bigger contrast in this case because looking at this Kurama you're showing here, he looks the same, just smaller. He still looks just as adult-like. But the problem is, and then if you look at baby Kurama in the Naruto manga, he looks younger too.
Exactly. And we have something to compare to. We do have baby Kurama.
But here's the problem. If you look at Boruto Chapter 10's cover, It's hard to say because he does look younger, but he doesn't look the younger way he looked in the Naruto manga. But that could just be art style.
Yeah, could just be Komodo.
Because he doesn't look as young there, but he also does look younger than he used to.
If I can.
So it feels like he is supposed to look younger based off just the comparisons.
Yeah. Okay, I would say, okay, based on this, I would say he is just smaller, not younger.
That is the most fugly looking Kurama I've ever seen.
Saran, what we're talking about right now, do you think, because everyone loves to call this baby Kurama, do you think this Kurama, because it's reborn or whatever, do you think it's meant to be younger or smaller?
Or both.
Repeat what you said. I just got put my headphones back on.
Okay, well, so we know when Minato did the Reaper Death Seal. What up here?
Mm-hmm.
Minato did Reaper Death Seal. They say, it is the Reaper Death Seal. I didn't think he'd really use it. But Ninetales is still alive. He couldn't seal all of him away, although he does appear smaller. So you take away some of Kurama's chakra, he gets smaller.
Yeah.
Kurama was
I
reborn.
mean, this should be the weakest Kurama I've ever.
Here's baby Kurama, here's current Kurama. Is this meant to be baby Kurama or small Kurama?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Thank
Why
you.
would small Kurama be that small?
Hypothetically, you could make him
theoretically just recently sprouted, so he's like just barely started being reborn.
Yeah, because if this is the size of half chakra Kurama, then this is probably like 5% chakra Kurama, just randomly throwing a number out there.
He's about the size as Himawari, so yeah, that would be like 10%. Yeah, I think this is just reborn Kurama. I don't think he's meant to be a baby.
Okay.
Because
So-
baby Kurama was still larger than a human. I think that's just a result of him respawning. Because you see baby Kurama there, he's much larger than Kurama.
Interesting point.
That's true.
Far larger, actually. If you go to the panel, let me see if maybe you can find it, but I think I have it.
Yeah, he looks noticeably a lot bigger than a human.
That's a good point. Wow, I didn't even consider that previously.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is what I mean by when I heard people say that baby Kurama, I was like, why is baby Kurama not baby Kurama?
Yeah.
Speaking of Shukaku, though, we could get into one of my next points
So good.
about the chapter.
Yeah.
So, Jura says that Himawari's regeneration is beyond that of a like normal human or even a Jinchuriki. Where does he say this? Where chapter is this? Oh yeah, it's far beyond human or Jinchuriki level. Something almost like what we Biju possess. Now, at first glance, that would sounds right? Because the Bijus should be over the Jinchuriki or regular humans, right? Except the Biju have never shown the ability to heal themselves. The Eight Tails has a broken horn and tail for like the entire war. Shukaku never healed the arm Gamabunta chopped off him at all. And the Three Tails is just permanently missing an eye that became Kotetsu's sword, and he
Pretty
never
sure the
healed
Nine
it.
Tails has been the only one to actually heal anything.
This is also interesting. This confirms
Well,
the
I don't think
Ninetales' special ability
the-
isn't healing, and just like I said, all Jinchuriki have healing, not just Naruto. It's not just the Ninetales.
but then it's
all
also
of them.
like, why doesn't Gara heal
Wait, what?
his
No,
injuries?
No, they don't. That's not true.
I'll take it up with Jura.
This is a lie. This is a lie. This
I
is a
thought
lie.
it should be Kurama's special ability because, well, he's the only one we ever see it with. And if you don't see the other Biju heal, who got injured.
Hold
Kurama
on.
just never got injured.
Let me
But
see.
like, Jura's saying it's we beat you, so that like us beat you, so that they all can do it. You know, the Ten Tails can.
So does this
It
mean
could be that Jura's just assuming that Nine Tails is like the same as the Ten Tails, but
Does this mean the Ninetales just doesn't have a special ability, or is it something else? There's multiple things it could be, like we said earlier, the fire style, or even what's on a thing that really counts. The thing that a lot of people point to is the fact that he has like 10 times more chakra than all the other tailed beasts combined. Ironically enough.
yeah, his special ability could just be power.
Yeah.
But
Being
I
able to
like
launch
Third
PP
Generation
bombs
thing
the way
just
he
because it's
does.
only ever been depicted with Naruto, really. I don't think it's ever shown with the other Jinchuriki ever healing.
Well, are the other Jinchuriki ever hurt and then using their healing?
Well, Gaara gets hurt and doesn't heal.
Yeah, but he's in his base form. Naruto doesn't heal visually in his base form.
Naruto
usually.
heals in his base form.
Only when it's told. He doesn't visually heal in his base form.
Huh?
I mean, even then, when Gaara started to get out the Shukaku more and more, he doesn't just we don't see his wound just close up.
In fact, it's literally plot. The wound on his cheek from the kunai Anko throws at him stays, and that's how Sasuke identifies the real Naruto later in the Forest of Death. So no, Naruto doesn't heal small basic wounds quickly in his base.
He does what the plot demands, and he does what
Exactly.
the plot doesn't demand.
Yeah.
Hold on.
But he's
Kind
still
of-
the only one to ever do it.
Well, it's really only when he's using the Ninetales chakra. Otherwise, it's
He
slightly
wasn't using the
amplified.
Ninetales chakra after the Kiba fight. Orochimaru sealed it off.
But again, it's not visually shown, it's only narratively described. So the way I think about it, you only heal when you're asleep. I think Naruto just heals 24/7 at the normal rate.
Trying to see if there's any point in the series where the other Jinchuriki get healed. But we never see much of them. So
That's
it's
the
like,
thing. I was trying to think about B, but like, I don't think B ever gets injured in a
he
way.
doesn't face an
to, like-
injury.
Yeah, he doesn't get injured. That's the problem.
Like, there's no point where he's like stabbed and would have had to ever heal.
But
Yeah.
like, would you be
He gets,
shocked
like,
if he did? Like, I think it'd just be pretty obvious that he could. That any of them could. Like, imagine B in his V2 form. And he gets like cuts like a piece of his side off, or gets a hole in his abdomen. I can see him healing that pretty quickly.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm just waiting. I'm just
I
trying
can- No.
Is there ever a contradiction with this?
But then I have to ask, okay, why doesn't the Eight Tails form itself heal?
Well, one, it's a horn, and the Otsutsuki value that for some reason. That could be a thing. Two, for whatever reason, he could just choose not to.
Okay, why did the Three Tails choose to just not have an eye? Why did Shukaku choose to just not regrow? Shukaku's the worst one because he's made of sand, bro. There's no reason why he can't just put the sand back.
Can Shukaku even be damaged because he's made of sand? How does that work?
Shukaku chopped his Yamabuta chopped his arm off and it didn't just come back, it just stayed broken.
But again, is that broken? Is that damaged?
I mean, seemingly
So, Kamui,
he didn't
When you-
use the arm.
when you take a knife and you run it through water, are you hurting that water?
The problem is, I feel like Shukaku might have some nerves in there. He's got to have some nerves.
I don't
like,
think he does. I think it's all magnet style. I don't understand it either, because he should have physical organs. He has physical form, just like Kurama. He has an eye, optical nerves that visually work. Like, he has a mouth and like a tongue, seemingly.
Well,
I don't
the
get
problem with that one is Gaara makes an eye with optic nerves out of sand. It's the third eye jutsu.
That's true. Because, like, when he cuts the arm off, there's nothing inside. It's just more sand. it's not leaking anything. There's not bones in
But
there.
why could he heal it then? Of all the people.
He just didn't. He just could have at any time. He could. I don't even think he needs to look like Shukaku because he's magnet style and he just controls sand. He can just look like whatever he wants with the sand. He'd be a big blob of sand, just a sphere if he wanted to. I don't know.
I know, but the Three Tails lived the rest of his life with one eye.
Yep, that's
I feel like it's just like bro did not
Biju's
choose to do that to
Okay,
himself.
okay,
Bro
Biju's
just
I got it.
themselves
Kamui.
can't heal, but they can heal their host.
What if the healing is an active thing, and the Three Tails was
Wait.
too dumb to do it?
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on.
No, but
they're not.
Himawari's doing it passively, not
They're not
intelligently.
even, and they're not. And apparently, they're not even. They're not even Jinchuriki.
Who?
Himawari's not a Jinchuriki, as
Yeah.
they're implying. So
Well, that's the thing.
She is the
That's
they
the
should
thing.
just heal.
It's not just that she has astounding healing abilities. If she is one mind and body with Kurama, why does she have better healing than a human or Jinchuriki?
We know Gyuki heals, right?
Yeah.
No, Yuki doesn't heal his. I mean, he does
No,
like 10 years
he heals-
later.
He heals his tentacles.
Exactly.
Yeah, 10 years later, but throughout the whole war, he doesn't.
Did he not re-heal his tentacle that got cut off?
From Sasuke.
Yeah.
Not for a long ass time. Same with his horn.
Do we
He just
see
went the
that?
whole war with a broken horn.
In the war,
Are you
do we
sure it's
see
a long time?
the same horn?
Yeah, he doesn't heal it during the
tentacle cut off?
war. It's healed in the Boruto era, but we don't see it healed leading up to it.
Saran, I feel like you should go see Gyuki in the war. Just go confirm that tentacle is still cut off.
Okay.
I don't trust Kamui.
He gets well. I don't know if he cuts off a second.
I don't.
I'm
actually
thinking about the
trust-
horn more than anything
just gonna
because the
roll with
horn
it.
I know there's plenty of panels of him just with a broken horn.
Stupid horn.
The horn is the least. I don't care about the horn.
Exactly.
I care about his
Why?
tentacles.
That's something to heal.
It's like clipping a fingernail.
bro, it's literally his horn. It's
Okay.
like it's
It's
you know
literally your
how much
fingernail.
Momoshiki cares about his stupid horns. I feel like the horn's valuable. But yeah, he's got this broken horn. When did he get his horn chopped?
Bro, I don't know if I'd even consider the
Does
horn a
Yuki
part
just
of his
have a
body.
broken horn? Is that just his design?
No.
Go back to the baby Biju for a second.
Why does he have horns if he's an octopus?
Because he's also an ox.
Oh, he is. I didn't even.
Yeah, he's an ox and an octopus.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, very clearly. I'm an idiot for that one. I forget how to spell Gyuki's name.
Is he fine? Where's the baby Biju?
Here he is.
I'm gonna go look
Yuki.
for the bee fight with Sasuke for a
Not
second. Does he have broken horns back then? Okay. That is so blurry and small. I don't know.
It's not
if that's
chopped.
really
Here, I'll
helpful.
give you a zoomed in version if you really need it.
It looks like it's symmetrical there, though. Okay. Try chapter 411. See if we get the 8 tails mode. Nope, not yet.
I mean, what's the lore with him versus the third Raikage? Doesn't he get a chop?
That's why
away?
I want to see if in the bee fight, he's already got the broken horn in the bee fight. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he never healed that. Regardless, I don't. If it got ripped, if it got broken in the Raikage fight, then freaking 20 years later, it's still not healed.
Well, is it healed in
Yeah, and they're
Boruto,
meant
this sword?
to and they're meant to have very good healing abilities.
Let's go look. Let's look at the Boruto.
See, that's what I'm
manga real
saying.
quick and see.
Is it even damaged to be healed? Are horns even healable? Is it even part of his body? It's like
Antlers heal their horns.
Kamui, if you gave Jubi Madara a haircut, is his hair gonna regenerate back at a rapid rate?
Well, this is interesting. I know it's just Ikimoto's art style, but it looks like both of his horns are chopped in the Momoshiki fight here.
We see Madara regenerate like half of his body, but when he rips his horn off, it stays gone. I feel like it's either something they don't care about.
Well,
What?
Choose not to
Madara
show
was
for whatever
purposely
reason.
ripping that off, though. Like, he was trying to rip it off so we could freaking get the third eye out there.
Okay.
So you could argue Madara was, like, trying his hardest not to heal.
That's the craziest way you could have worded that on purpose.
Which tentacle was cut off?
I don't know. Well, this looks like a cut off tentacle here, but I gotta get like a good image of the eight tails to
God.
see. God, this is gonna be so hard to find. Just
His-
an image of all eight of his tails.
All of his tails are rarely ever on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, minus the one time he first debuts him versus Sasuke. Then you never see all of them again. They don't really look.
Pretty confident it's not cut off. But...
I mean, he grows the tails back in Boruto, I'm pretty sure, anyway. The problem is, this looks like it could be cut off, but it could just be a short tail. I don't know. It's not really, like,
I don't
clear.
remember him with
Thank you.
with a cut off tail in the war.
I knew the horn was chopped, but from the looks of it, it may have just always been that way. We don't know. I have to go back and see the Raikage flashback. But first, we can look for the tails.
Vaughn says maybe he's smaller because they are one. Kinda like what's going on with Momoshiki. He appears smaller now. I don't know what he's referring to
you're
about Momoshiki, but
Asking for the Raikage flashback. No, he has both horns in the Raikage flashback.
Okay, he never healed it since then.
yeah, that's fine.
No, it's not.
Why?
Because the horn would be like a bone. When Madara's freaking all of his arm bones were destroyed by Guy, he healed them back.
We know he
So if
heals.
the Biju have regeneration of bones, that should apply, well, to the Biju.
Okay,
The horns are
Kamui.
bones.
Humans heal. If you chip your tooth, that's not going to heal back.
Humans can't heal bones
God.
like Madara can.
I mean, they do. Broken bones turn back into healed bones.
Well, they don't yeah, but if you chop off an arm, you can't regrow a bone.
Well, there are cases where that have happened.
Okay, not consistently. Madara can just do that. But yeah, Yuki just never healed his horn, I guess.
I'm
So-
pretty.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I can't find a good panel to really gauge if he's got a broken tail or not.
I don't think he does.
Okay, let me go to the chapter in the manga.
I'm just
Because
going through like chapter by chapter in the
Oh.
manga right now
Because I don't
until I
even
find one.
consider the
Dang
horn a
it.
part of his body.
That's unfortunate.
That's so stupid. How can you
Game
not consider it a part of
over.
his body?
It's almost
Game
like a
over.
helmet. Just like an external thing. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's almost like cutting a...
No, it's not. It's literally a part of his body. Come on now.
It's almost like cutting a leaf off of a tree.
No, it's not,
No,
bro.
it's-
It's part
Oodie,
of his
stop it.
body. It's literally one of his bones.
If deers can regrow their antlers, I'm sorry. Someone with an incredible healing factor should be able to reheal their heal their horns.
We've literally
external.
seen, like I said, we've seen this Bijou healing power in Madara, where he heals bones.
But Kamui, the deer aren't
Also,
healing their
this
antlers.
thing doesn't even look like a bone on Gyuki anyway. It looks no different than his normal flesh.
Then stop
This
calling it
isn't
a
even
bone. It's not a bone, it's a horn.
Then it. No, I mean, it might not even be a horn. It might just freaking be his ears. Like, that might be what his ears look like.
not his
Bro doesn't have
ears.
ears anywhere else, so that might be what they are.
That's not
Looks
his
the same as his
ears.
arm flesh.
Don't be crazy.
So maybe they're already been horns.
Doesn't he himself call it a horn?
I don't know if he calls it
But
a horn.
Sauron, deer do not heal their antlers. Their antlers continue to grow at the normal rate they were already growing. Them losing their antler doesn't change anything about their antlers.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's true.
This would just
dang it,
apply
game
to
over.
the horns.
We
They're
lo-
just
we
they grow.
lose.
They don't need to grow
So, yeah,
anymore. They don't do anything.
This
So they don't
chapter
need
is
healed.
just the chapter is just objectively wrong. The other Bijou do not have exceptional healing abilities.
When? What are you talking about?
What are you looking? What are you looking at to say whatever?
Look
What
at
chapter you on?
Look at Yuki's. I put it in general. His tail is still cut off. It didn't regrow. You can see it. Go to
Oh,
chapter.
you found a panel. Perfect.
Yeah, I just went to the
I
fight.
swore I thought his tail was messed up.
Yeah, and then there's another scene where Kakashi is like spewing Yuki outside of his Kamui, and you see the cut off tail.
Wait,
Oh
where
yeah,
is
wait,
the
what chapter is
cutoff
that?
tail
So
in
I
this
can see
one?
real quick. Is that when they do like
that?
the thing with the 10 tails where they try to like blow up his eye?
Yeah.
What chapter is that?
What is that?
I'm trying to remember. Give me a moment. Should be in the 90s. 590s.
Oh, it might be here. Or probably the chapter before. Oh yeah, you can see it here too, because it's the way it's drawn. I'll take a screenshot.
Like chapter 601, maybe?
No, it's a little bit later. I don't know what chapter I'm on. I'm on like chapter like 10 or something, but
Okay.
chapter
I was
610, yeah,
close.
that was. But I found this works perfect. This is pretty. You can see on the very right of this image, top right, like that's a cut off horn or a cut off tail. I mean,
No, this is a better image. Yeah. So no, the Bijou do not have exceptional healing abilities. If you can't regrow your freaking flesh,
can't
then
regrow your horn or your tails.
So how would Matatabi work, considering Matatabi's fire?
That one's weird. It's like the sand one again. Like
Yeah.
not a real body.
So the thing with Gyuki here, again, I don't think it's a passive thing. I think they can just choose to heal whenever they want. Especially considering Gyuki is stated to have like that octopus limb regeneration thing that octopuses in real life have anyways.
Yeah, all the more reason why Gyuki of all Bijou should have healed his tails.
I mean, I think he could have.
But he didn't.
Yeah.
And by the way, this tail was cut off like 6 months ago in the timeline. He's
Was
had
he-
so much time to heal this.
Well, he could have
Did
been
he
able from 2
ever
years
really-
to 3 days. It's kind of hard to say.
it's not. No, it's not. It's
Although
it's
it
not-
doesn't matter. A whole
it's
day is
months.
plenty of
It's-
time for
It's
him.
more than months. Yeah. So yeah, this is just wrong.
Yeah,
This
I think
will-
he could have just done it immediately if he wanted to.
I knew that this is just. Why would he not do it if he could do it?
Again, I don't need to
Yeah, like
explain
it's just so
that
stupid. When you have like
because-
6 months of time to heal Oodie, that's just. I'm sorry, but I understand you can say, oh, character things. There's no character trait of Gyuki to explain him not healing when he's just got 6 months of time to chill.
Gyuki's not a human, and he also doesn't heal like a human. So I don't need to have to understand why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
he
correct.
heals like a Bijou,
He
which
heals
is supposed to be more than a human.
He heals better than a human.
Exactly.
You're
He doesn't
correct.
heal
He
like a
doesn't heal
human.
like a human.
Exactly. He doesn't heal like a human.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
heals
He
Yeah,
doesn't
better
he
heal
heals
like a
better
human.
than a human. So why is
Exactly.
he
He
healing
doesn't
worse than
heal
humans?
like a human. Therefore, I don't need to understand why he heals the way he does. I can't relate to
No,
the way
because he's supposed to heal better. The
chooses to
way it
heal.
is like is better.
Madara
He's not healing-
regenerates better. I don't understand why Madara chooses not to regenerate sometime. I don't need to, because I can never
When does
relate or
Madara choose not to
understand
regenerate?
that. His
Apart,
horn.
when does
What
Madara
is-
choose not to regenerate apart from the horn, where there's the obvious answer of the third eye that needs to look at the moon?
Immediately after being hit by Night Guy.
There could just be a thing to where he couldn't.
Yeah, that's what
Immediately
you're
after
going
getting
with.
hit
He
by
couldn't.
Night Guy?
Yeah, he's like laughing. He's like, "Ah, you really got me. That was a good one."
He literally
Well, he
heals.
actually is already healing while
No,
that
he's not.
happens.
He's
but-
actively
Definitely
healing when he's
Definitely
talking.
not.
What do you-
Yeah, he is. No, he
he's
is.
definitely not. Dude, what do you mean? He's definitely
He is
not.
healing while he says that.
I am pulling it up in the anime.
I'm-
He's definitely 100% not.
In the manga, he's healing while he says that.
I don't care about the manga.
Okay, the
Except
manga
that-
is the continuity.
except
It's
you
already
do.
got the zoos of him healing
It should be
before he
ch-
talks.
Yeah, it is the manga continuity.
We've
I
already-
agree,
We've actually done
Kamui.
this on the
It's the manga
podcast
continuity. Yeah,
It should be
We-
it is.
It should be chapter 672.
before. I'm
Don't look at-
671, but we've done this on the podcast before. Actually, we've discussed this exact topic.
No, Madara was actively healing when he was talking. And
I
his
gotta pull it
horn
up right
also
here.
regenerates too. Yeah, his horn regenerates too.
Again, I don't need to explain why. Because
Anyways,
not
dude,
human at this
enough.
point.
Shut up. Anyways.
Yeah, not healing.
anyways.
only
It's
He's
then does he
healing.
start
He hasn't started talking.
I don't care when he starts
Already
talking.
healing. You just proved it on stream, bro.
No, again, he's not healing right here. That's all I care about. He's not already healing. It's not a passive thing. He chooses to do it. Not until a few
You said
seconds
he was
later.
healing. He wasn't healing before he started talking.
The
It's 2
talking doesn't
seconds
matter.
later, dude.
The talking doesn't matter. It's
No,
before.
you said it. You concede. You concede what you claimed.
Yeah, I concede the
changing your
part that
claim,
doesn't
okay.
matter. I don't concede on the part that matters. I don't concede on the point. I concede on the nitpick that you're making, sure, but I don't concede on the.
But
meaningful thing.
either way, you could just simply say Madara couldn't heal for a second,
Why?
like until then.
He was so
Maybe he needed to
weak.
catch his breath. He's huffing and puffing in the previous channel. Maybe he needs more oxygen.
Okay, can you prove that?
I said maybe he needs. And all I
Exactly.
said is that maybe he can't. You can't prove that he could have before either.
And you know why neither of us can prove
Alright,
it?
we're getting-
Because
okay.
we heal like humans. We don't heal like him. We can never understand how or why he chooses to heal the way he does.
That's not why we can't prove it. We can't prove it because it wasn't explained.
We're getting stun locked. It's an interesting thing that Jura
just said the same thing
said,
I
but
said.
I don't think it's an interesting thing that
retcon.
Jura said, but I don't think this is true.
Yeah, take it up with
So-
Jura and the author.
This is just a Kishimoto retcon. He really loves doing that.
Which was right all
Anyways,
along
let's
and
move
not
on.
contradicted.
No, it's an Ikimoto retcon. Kishimoto would never.
No. He literally retconned Orochimaru's entire timeline with the Akatsuki. He absolutely would do this.
And how much did that one matter as a retcon? It didn't. It was a pointless retcon for that matter. This one actually kind of matters. It just is.
It's a really bad retcon. It's a
Yeah.
dumb one. Maybe they
'Cause
don't.
They didn't need to
Yeah.
do that. All he could have said is your ability. For example, your abilities are astounding, even more than a Bijou, to imply it's kind of like Baryon mode. And it's a special power. He already said before Himawari's power was beyond just Bijou.
Or maybe
chakra.
he can just simply imply that it's a Kurama thing.
Bro, whenever
he
a
says
Bijou
us
gets a
Bijou.
wound, it would heal it. Whether it's a scratch or a hole through it, it would heal it. Just battle damage in general.
That's
It's
literally
funny that that's
we've
not
already
true.
proved that not true. with
I'm not
the
gonna
3
count
Biju.
scars as damage.
These aren't scars.
What do you think? He
The
lost
tail
the
being
part of
chopped
his
off is not a
tail.
scar. That's damage.
That's more like history of the body than it is damage.
He like lost part of
How
his
is it?
tail.
What do you mean?
It's part of their story.
You're gonna make
Stop.
me say the N word.
What? Never talk again?
Yeah, 100%.
Like the Biju just clearly don't
I'm
get
gonna
hurt.
open up
Anyway.
my. Yeah, they definitely
yeah.
don't, bro. You're correct.
I
Thank
found
you.
this
We're
one
wrong.
annoying though
GG,
that
nice
he
and
said
tough.
that.
What I find interesting is no matter how much you heal your wounds, you're unable to avoid the drain on your chakra, which confirms it is a chakra-based thing, which implies it's not passive. It is an active ability that they use to heal themselves. When all Biju do this.
What did you say?
Healing is a
The
chakra
way
out
he
for
thing.
works
me.
that, I'd agree, but at the same time, Himawari was not actively doing it. So
I disagree. I think she was. With her hand. What do you think about this?
she wasn't using her hands to heal any other time.
Can you indicate another time?
Let me go back to the chapter.
I mean, she uses the same
too many
aura to heal
tabs
Lino
open.
Gene. That's the only other
What?
time I can
She literally
remember
heals
Yeah,
a
with her
broken leg
hair,
with
not
healing.
her hand.
She literally heals her broken hand without her broken leg
Yeah,
without
also,
ever
yeah, she
touching her
broke.
leg.
She healed her broken leg without putting her hand on it.
That's different.
At least that's
Why?
what I see from this chapter here.
Why is that different?
It was only twisted.
Bro,
Are you?
no.
Like, you don't
Are
need
you?
aura for
Whatever.
I don't think she needs to use her
Wait, so
hand. I
Ood,
think
you're
she
ju-
grabbed her hand. You could say it's active. She put her hand there because it hurt. Nothing more. The hand didn't do the healing.
Yeah,
So it wasn't
exact-
medical ninjutsu with the hand.
It
The
just
hand was
hurted.
just because it hurt.
What exactly is she healing here?
So this
What
is
is she-
me and Kamui talked about this for like 10 minutes.
Is
We
this
actually
internal damage?
don't know. So it looks like Jura's doing a Biju bomb here because he does it through his eye for some reason. I guess you wouldn't know that, but he just does. And it looks like he's launching multiple small Biju bombs through her, causing like impale holes throughout her body, almost like gunshots. I don't understand why the shirt rips like this. I can't explain that. That just seems like
That's
it's
weird.
what's happening here.
Wait, wouldn't it just poke through the shirt?
Yeah, no, it would. It's either that or it's burning, or it's some explained or unexplained
Or it's like
jutsu that we just don't
fireworks.
know.
It's like a sparkler.
The
Or
black
for the
marks
sake of
could just be like shirt particles that are still on screen because time hasn't passed. Is a possibility. As well.
I think that is what that is.
But what about
That's what I
here,
initially thought.
and then they go away because they should just be resting on her because she's laying down
Wait,
here.
what is?
Like here, it looks like it would just
I
be blood coming out of an impale wound. Like here's especially.
Yeah. And then you have the fabric on her stomach, but that's not how would grab. If they got brushed away, wouldn't they land on the floor, not on her stomach?
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I memed. It could
I don't know
be.
what that is.
It could be Boro's virus. Bringing that back.
Unless he
It
can
looks
do
like it.
internal damage.
It looks like it. I mean, it would kind of work considering he's talking about her healing factor. So just get around it through virus.
Especially if that virus actually, funnily enough, we were joking like Amato's ninja tech might just be like coming from the Tentail. So Boros virus is included in that. This Tentail just has that virus.
Man, I can't wait for Ikimoto to not work with the anime and the anime staff to be confused on what's happening here, and they just don't know what to animate.
So they just literally do whatever the
They
hell
just
they
guess.
want.
They make it Amaterasu for some reason. She just heals it off.
Yeah.
Globs it off like Naruto did versus Sasuke.
Amaterasu.
By the way, that's the healing thing.
You'll have another. Yeah, it's silly. Point number exploring.
Yeah, so the fact that
We got sidetracked on that for way too long.
we did. So
Ood. And
yeah, that was all Kamui's fault. So this next point, I'm not gonna say this is bad or doesn't make sense. Well, I'll title the video this, of course, that does make sense. But Himawari does have a lot less chakra than Naruto, and this Kurama has a lot less chakra than the other Kurama, considering how small it is. But like, all she's done in this fight, unless something happened off screen between when Jura says he's going all out and like here when they cut back to the fight, unless there was a lot of fight off screen, the only
He didn't say he's going all out.
whatever.
He said you make me want to test my true power. And he
Such a
said he
nitpicker.
released just a little
I
bit.
feel like that's very semantical, but okay.
Such a nitpicker. The point is, all Himawari has done on screen so far was a single punch and a single Biju bomb.
No, she did 2 punches.
Did she do 2 punches?
She hit him twice.
What's the second punch?
Well, it's more of a slap.
She also has healed. That takes chakra now. The slap I'm not going to count.
Yeah, she does 2
She
hits.
heals Xenogene
She punches
as well,
him.
so
He
I guess
doesn't
that
do
counts
anything. Then
also.
she hits him again, and that
He
sends it
goes,
back.
oh, by the way, Jura looks so cool there to me.
Yeah,
I
I was
really
wondering
like
what this
how-
was. So do you think this is like a specific ability, or is it just him speed blitzing? Because it's drawn weird.
It's, yeah, yes,
They
He's
have the
just
speed lines
headbutt her.
behind.
He's just moving.
Yeah, but like,
He just headbutt her.
Himawari's
the speed
noticing as if he's
lines.
doing something weird or different or interesting here. Maybe it's the first time he's actually using his full speed, but like, it's I don't know, it's just weird.
He just headbutt
This is the
her.
first time he's using his full speed, and she's just confused. She's like, "Why are you rushing at me with your head?"
Okay.
And then she
With
gets
your hands-
headbutted.
with your hands in your
No,
pockets.
because
no less.
think about it. Isn't it weird to watch?
Attack.
No, think about how
Serrano.
weird that'd be to look at in a fight. Someone's just
I
like,
don't imagine somebody with their hands in their pockets running at you to headbutt you. Oodie, we gotta do it on the other channel that we're gonna do in 200 years. We gotta try Jura's attack.
The other day, Kamui, I was also thinking, I forgot to text you to add this. Ao, at the beginning of the anime when he's introduced in Boruto, at the end of the first episode, where he catches the leaf with his hand or whatever. The coolest, fast way possible.
I know what you're talking about.
We
yeah,
gotta do
he
that.
looks so cool.
Yeah.
Put that down. Okay.
That was such an anime moment. It doesn't.
So I
Why
don't
do you even do that?
I don't think there's an equal ratio of chakra drainage from each of her thing. I don't think healing took 25%, the Biju bomb took 25%, and like her punching took 25%. I'm gonna say her punching took like maybe 1%. The healing, she did it multiple times, so like maybe like 10-15% of her total chakra. I think the Biju bomb probably drained like 80% of her chakra, assuming there was no long fight off screen.
Did she ever run out of chakra?
At the
She's low
very
on
end,
chakra
yeah.
according to Jura.
I forget. Did they say that?
Yeah.
Jura did.
Oh, they do. Yeah, he does say it. I'm a Dumbo.
You've been
I missed
considerably
it.
weakened. Of course, no matter how much you heal your wounds, you're unable to avoid the drain on your chakra.
Oodie, can you send me a link to that chapter, by the way? I want to quickly read these translations.
Naruto's never had this issue.
Unless you wanted to do like a reaction thing to it.
Yeah, I was thinking we were doing that another stream at this point, considering how late it freaking is.
Okay, then I'll wait.
5 hours, 40 minutes. If we want to end under 6 hours, which I do to cut this up, we're gonna have to improve it. So
18 people are watching.
shout out to those ATV. You know, we should go back to chat.
I thought it'd be at 4 by now.
It's almost
It's like
4 a.m.
It's 4 a.m. Guys,
good.
go to
We've had like
bed.
over 20 at this like time of day. But
Well,
we have 19
maybe that's
now.
the problem, Sauron. Maybe we streamed so late, those 18 people fell asleep. Maybe they are in bed.
Oh.
Why
Hey,
they're
that
not
would really
commenting.
drive up the watch time.
That man, streaming at night is a low-key YouTube hack. Yeah. But I like that
Alright,
idea. Let's
cons-
end stream with chat. And
Yeah. You'll have to continue another time.
yeah.
Well,
Sorry,
we
did
never
you
even
want to
finished
stick around?
dismantling the chapter.
I'll stick around for 10 more minutes.
Sounds good. Ariana says, from what I remember, Sarada didn't do anything this chapter at all, besides have a little conversation and whatnot. And whereas I hate that because of last chapter, I love it for this chapter. Last chapter shouldn't have even existed.
Yeah, no, yeah. They should have just had that encounter from last chapter in this chapter. That way you would have Sarada get her attack, and then in the same chapter, Hidari goes on to beat her. Just like they did with the Boro fight, where it starts with them beating up Boro, then it's revealed, oh yeah, I have regeneration, and I got this virus. You're screwed. They should have just done the same thing.
Would have been perfect. Or even
I
shout
need
out
to watch
JJK.
your guys' stream video
Yoga.
about the Sarada thing. I'm interested.
Okay. Angel M. Even for a monthly release, with Grace Suave, Sarada should have taken that lightning with grace. Her eyes almost popped out. I'm saying, bro, Sarada, like, that panel was very impactful. I love how extreme they showed off Sarada's lightning attack. And it's significant because you compare it to Sumere's, it looks like a normal panel. It just looks like a normal, like, panel of her just being electrocuted. Sarada's, you can feel it with Sarada's. It visually is distinct, even if it's, like, visually the same thing.
I don't know if she should have tanked that. It makes sense that it hurt.
No,
I
agree. I love the fact that she didn't, but
She also wasn't even like amping her durability or shock or anything. Like that would just hurt.
Sarin, I don't know if
It was completely unexpected.
I don't know if you've kept up with Mello at all. He's been flipping the F out about this Sarada thing. He's doubled down on this, calling everyone in the community idiots on all sides. I love it.
Yeah, no, he is.
For what specifically?
Because he loves the Sarada, and so anyone that says anything at all about this chapter is the enemy of his enemy.
But
is his enemy.
Whatever, it's yeah, he's like
I don't get why he loves Sarada.
He's going so hard for her. It's like why?
No.
Like
yeah, like I don't care.
I actually like Sarada quite a lot, but like not that much.
I liked Sarada in Naruto Gaiden because I liked the story, and that's it.
I find
I haven't
Naruto
cared about her.
Gaiden to be extremely contrived. So I don't know. I don't like Naruto Gaiden that much.
I liked her from the.
I don't
know a lot of
love
people.
it, but I liked certain elements of it, and like that's just the only time I really cared because beyond that point, what has Sarada done
Exactly.
story wise?
If I were to have read
she came up with the Chidori strategy. Not even really. She didn't even come up with the Chidori strategy. Kawaki did, and she just listened to him. What did Sarada actually do? She landed a Chidori on Boro. That's it.
Only read the manga. Why would you ever like Sarada?
Exactly.
She's
There's nothing
just
to like.
She just can I even say that she's cool? Okay, I guess she's cool.
Nah, bro, she ain't cool. She's annoying in the manga.
She did one cool thing in the manga, and that's it. And she's consistently kind of a B word, you know, in the manga.
Yeah.
She has a very, attitude. Like, she don't act the same in the anime as she does in the manga.
And at the beginning of the manga, the way they depicted her was
disgusting.
my
lord!
Don't even get me started.
Yeah,
It is so
very flirtatious. It's very different.
I'm like, what am I I don't like you at all.
Yeah. Now, I will
Yeah.
say, outside of
And it-
Naruto Gaiden and I guess the Boro moment, what I really loved about Sarada was the concept of her rather than her herself, like in chapter 700. Because the whole point of the Naruto story is the rivalry or the bond, the connection between Naruto and Sasuke. And this completely is the antithesis of the you are your own person, you're not your parent theme. Because Boruto and Sarada are Naruto and Sasuke's children. There is an inherent compelling factor between those two, and whatever, not rivalry, but differences they may come to. And so they actually did this pretty well at the beginning of the anime. Those first like 6 or so episodes, they had a
where
cool
they had like the academy
established
rivalry
dynamic.
stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
I love they were going that route. The whole Naruto
You
Sasuke
get-
dynamic.
You get none of that in the manga, though.
No, absolutely not.
But it went away in the animes too. They just kind of
Yeah.
like got over and became best friends.
Well, they become actually like friends rather than like they become genuine friends rather than the ones that constantly bicker and hate each other.
Exactly.
They get over it around. They get it over around like episode 38.
It's so funny
They'll
because
probably
I
get
didn't
over
like
it even
them
earlier than that.
at first. At the very beginning, I did not like them because they're Boruto and Sarada. I only cared because they're Naruto and Sasuke's children, which is the exact
No,
antithesis
I
of the
Wait a minute.
hated-
I thought you said. Wait, hold on. I thought you said you didn't. I thought you said you liked Boruto at first. Thought you didn't care about him. Which is it?
No, I mean in chapter 700. Like, literally the introduction of him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've already explained my journey with Boruto before. I hated everyone except Mitsuki.
The concept of him.
Yeah, Mitsuki, bro.
Uh,
I had to
Mitsuki was-
rewatch. I had to rewatch Boruto to like it.
I'm just gonna set a
But yeah,
timer
there's
on myself so I don't
nothing
have
that
to think.
good about Sarada's just not that. People can make up a lot of headcanon to make Sarada a good character within the manga. That's lovely stuff.
I did a 50
Actually, I
minute
think I
video
had
on
like
it,
a Twitter
a year
thread
ago.
I took a bunch of pictures of about Sarada.
I just don't think. I just wouldn't care about
and
Sarada if I
podcast
watched
topics.
only read the manga.
Broke this down
but-
for 50 minutes.
Same
on-
goes
Even
for
Mitsuki.
Mitsuki.
I have
No, yeah,
Mitsuki in the
Mitsuki-
manga
I love
is
Mitsuki,
so.
But Mitsuki does not deserve it in the manga anymore. He doesn't deserve it. In the Boro fight, though, Mitsuki was actually useful, I think. But
I need to
and
find
he's
that Sarada
he
thing.
kind of cool in the Shoujoji thing where you just beat him. But like,
Mitsuki
yeah,
gets
Mitsuki doesn't deserve
nothing.
it.
He has nothing to
I
his
know.
character within the manga for so long. At all.
And they dropped the ball at the end of part 1 with Mitsuki when he
Yeah.
could have had the freaking coolest moment in the franchise of Boruto,
Like,
where he
he
freaking
is
destroys
so mid.
Boruto. But no.
That's why. That's part of the reason why that Mitsuki Ada conversation hit as hard as it did. It's like the only thing we've got on Mitsuki, and it's probably going to be the only thing we're gonna get from him for a while, if not forever.
And that line is gonna hit harder for people, who
No, it's-
watch the
it's-
anime.
No, it's not going to hit hard in the anime. You know why? Because Mitsuki already came to that realization in the anime like 150 episodes ago. We've already been over this in the podcast.
It's gonna be another 150 episodes before we get that animated too.
Yeah, like Mitsuki's already come to. He tells Boruto like, oh, I'm gonna do what my son. I'm gonna follow you because you're my son. That's what you expected, right? I realize I have my own will now. I'm going to do what I want. And that was in reference to either the Shoujoji. It was either the Awark mission or the Shoujoji mission or something. And it doesn't matter which mission. I think it might be the Awark. But anyway, he already established he has his own will and he will prioritize his feelings
Oh wait,
first.
the manga
not the
did
son.
what the anime already did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now when the anime does this 3 years later in the timeline, Mitsuki's already had that character arc.
Should I blame
This
them?
is why I
back?
said they're not two different continuities.
Yeah.
They're two different stories.
Man, remember?
Wait, should
remember
I
in-
blame the manga for that, or should I blame the anime?
Blame
No,
Ikimoto.
I don't blame the.
No,
I don't
Ikimoto
blame the
sole
anime.
responsibility.
The anime just wanted to give Mitsuki good stuff to work with. The manga
The anime
just
probably
didn't.
asked Kodachi for permission to do it. And he probably said, yeah.
He was an
thumbs up.
He was an anime supervisor at the time, so the manga just basically did what they already did with Mitsuki within the
Bro,
anime.
Kamui, you memed saying this before, but it's just unironically true. Whatever rude thing Kodachi said was probably right. Probably needed to be said.
Probably.
In fact,
And somebody was debating on Discord. I was talking to somebody in my Discord about this because I was like, he was just taking Kodachi's words at face value about how it was always in the plans for him to leave or whatever. And I'm like, well, I don't know, 'cause I've heard things, but regardless of what's true, I think I'd be more mad if Kodachi willingly stepped away from this story and let it become this shithell when he could have just kept writing it. So I don't believe that. I think he got fired because there's no, and especially if he's allegedly having trouble finding work. I've heard that before. Like,
yeah.
nah, bro. Bro did not willingly get rid of his money bag.
I mean, especially if it's going in the
For this
direction it's
shit.
going, I don't blame him for saying something. I would have said something too. I would have got myself fired. And with the direction it's gone, it's
like-
no wonder those people who let it get to this direction fired him. I would expect that from people who would let this happen.
Yeah, I don't know what he said, but it's like it's probably true.
It is odd that to me that does kind of confirm that maybe the anime did communicate with the manga at one point, and they're like, yeah, go ahead and do this character arc for Mitsuki, and then because they're just repeating what the anime already did,
Bro, remember?
kind of word for word. I'm looking at the dialogue here, and
Yeah.
the
Remember-
anime did this.
Remember when Sekie told
He had an
Mitsuki
Wow,
at
that's
his
about
death,
it.
don't
That's
forget
literally
me?
hilarious.
Yeah, Sekie at his death is like, Mitsuki, don't forget me. Mitsuki's like final
anime
words to him
did
was
it
like,
better.
yeah. Bro just forgot
The
him.
anime-
He just doesn't remember.
The
Oh,
anime did
man.
it better. Whatever.
Literally, the
Final
anime. I do
request.
think the anime did it better because Mitsuki had an arc about this, so it feels like a story.
Yeah. Oh my god, bro
Yikes,
just straight
bro.
up forgot Sekie. That's wild.
He also
That
forgot
is-
the fact that he just told his son this in the past. Like, in Mitsuki's memories, he told his son Kawaki, I have my own will. I'm going to do my own will. And then he's just like, oh, I never thought about it.
The funny
before."
part is, if the anime removes this scene from the manga, from the anime, which they have removed scenes before, the people would just complain. But it's like, they already did this. Like, we did that already.
But even
and
then-
it's just
It's so funny because it's like the Boruto anime gets the fillers right, but the canon wrong. It adapts it so quickly, almost to get back to the filler. I don't understand.
But it's because their filler might be better at this point. The
Wait,
car
they
actuation
don't-
arc
they
is
don't really
better
like-
than this.
Well, it's because they do want to keep some semblance of pace when it comes to the manga stuff, since that's what everyone's looking forward to. They don't want to be what One Piece does, which is to adapt a half a chapter an episode.
Bro, they're adapting
It'd
way
just
too
be
fast.
too slow.
Yeah, it's too
But I
fast
think-
now.
I think that the Kara arc was adapted as fast as it should be. I don't think it was too fast. The Code arc was adapted too fast. They were adapting like 2.5 chapters per episode,
It's crazy.
which is way too. It was way too quick.
And
But
the whole
if
point
they
is
go
not
back
to catch
to
up to the manga.
if they go back to what they did before, which is 1 chapter an episode, I think that's just fine.
Yeah.
Because 1 chapter leaves them about 4 minutes worth of an episode of added content. Like the entire chapter 5, the first quarter of that chapter can be an anime episode.
Yeah.
Or 2. 1 or 2.
We only have 5 minutes left, and we spent all that time on one question, comment, whatever. So, next comment is,
Oh, we only have 5 minutes left.
OG Sasuke would have countered with his own Chidori Nagashi. Whereas Chidori Nagashi feels like it should be a defensive technique, I feel like it just doesn't work like that. Like, hypothetically, if Hidari and Sasuke both activated Chidori Nagashi to Chidori stream and just ran at each other, they would just both be hurt rather than canceling it out or something. Like, they would just
Yeah.
both be hit by it.
Chidori Nagashi's like Chidori stream, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I feel like that wouldn't have countered it at all. It would have just performed its own. It's two people with spears running at each other with no shield. It's not going to counter this spear. Exactly. It was only one chapter. They were at a standstill. It was one chapter. This chapter was more of a plot development of Himawari. It's a monthly manga, bro. Which goes in line with, look at the cover. This chapter is quite obviously more revolved around Hidari and him wondering where he come from and what he wants with Sarada and whatnot. And I agree. I'm not going to say the chapter revolved around that, but it was by far the best part of the chapter. Way more than the Himawari stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Is that
I'm
even a
lowering my score
comparison
for
at
this
this point?
chapter now that I know the other stuff.
Yeah, so I'm glad we got the Hidari cover. And the Hidari cover looks beautiful. One of the best covers they've ever done. Including all of the 80 Boruto covers.
Definitely better than the one with Kawaki's foot.
Mouse actually does awful.
Yeah.
Why did bro look like that? Like, bro looked like he had greasy, flaky skin and hair. It's like, ew.
Yeah.
That's just nasty.
The only reason she got caught off guard was because Sumire was yelling Hidari was after Sarada was trying to see who he was. So, your trusted ally is yelling, this person's a threat. And that's why you're off guard when after that the person attacks.
That doesn't make any sense. But
No.
that's... Congratulations, buddy. That was a great comment.
You tried. A for effort.
No. Like, that was a great comment. That was lovely stuff.
I need Cam's cake gif with Bart Simpson. Here, I'll post it in chat. I'll find it really quick.
Need Cam's cake gif?
Oh god, do I? Okay, I do have it saved. This one. At least you tried. And he throws away the cake. So good. Hidari looks like he shops at Discount Hot Topic. I mean, so does Sasuke. Yeah, I feel like that's a great comment to end it on.
Why would you even type that? That was silly.
Yeah,
anyways,
1 minute left. Here, I'm gonna scroll through chat so all the chats are on screen, and potentially another time we can come back and answer these. I don't know. Maybe I'll stream solo tomorrow just for the sole purpose of answering these chats from this stream.
We talked a lot about a lot of stuff this stream. This was productive for your guys' level of streams.
Entirely
Yesterday
because of
was too.
Y'all usually are stun locked on one thing for like an hour. We talked about many things.
Oh, we did get stun locked on a couple things for a couple hours, but that's beside the point.
So, like, I'm gonna clap it off to y'all. Good job, guys.
And over and out!
I've only been here for 2 hours and 30 minutes.
There we go. W stream. W zoo tagged! Okay, bye. Okay, good. I have 10 seconds left. I can end it properly.
That was